What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh boy, hiya. Hey everybody, welcome into the High Noon Show. I am Pugs Moran with talent on loan from mom. Let's say mom. There you go. It's the High Noon Show. We do this each and every day at noon. There'll be a reason for that opening a bit later. We'll be doing this show, the High Noon Show. We do it each and every day, Monday through Friday, noon till when we're done. I typically like to promise you at least 2 hours. That's traditionally what you're going to get with us. Sometimes we go a little bit later. We do it every day, Monday through Friday. And what is this about? Well, I'll tell you. It's about topics. Slow down. Okay. Current events, topics. I was told that I speak too fast by a friend in radio. And I'm like, I've been told that my entire career. It's just, I've got so much in here that I'm trying to get out. And actually, the reason that you speak fast is because you're nervous. And you do have a lot to get out, and you don't want to miss anything, so you speak. So I am going to had a nice conversation with a friend of mine this morning who works in radio, and he said, I love your energy, but you always talk so fast. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So I told him, I said, you know what? You're right. I'm going to slow it down a little. But I'll tell you, there is a method to the madness. I mean, it's performative for sure. But if you notice, I lay heavy into long pauses for effect. And then, I'll talk real fast, and then I'll slow it down a little. It's performative. I don't know. It's just it's a broadcast style or a stream style that I like to think that I've cultivated, although it is sort of cherry picked from a number of other people. But he was right. When I listen back to myself and I hate watch the show, I always think, slow down. You have all the time in the world. You're not up against a break. You're not trying to squeeze an entire segment into a 5-minute window before another commercial for a car dealer or whatever the hell it is. We have time. We can spread out and we can relax. And we do that each and every day, as I said, noon Central Time right here. Topics. Headlines, trending things, hot topics, current events. That's what this show is about. If there's anything happening in the world today, I try to bring it to you at noon with this high noon presentation. Also, we double back. We do 2 streams a day. We come back at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And when I say we, I do not mean the royal we. In this particular case, I mean specifically myself and James Parker. We do a little conversation show, a little end of the day. So how was your day? Let's talk about some things. We do that at 9 o'clock. It's a little more conversational. It's a lot more stupid. And, I hope you can join us for both of those. That show airs every Monday through Thursday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, as opposed to this one, which is, as I said, Monday through Friday, every day. All right, let's see here. Hi, everybody. Byron is there. Byron, gyno appointment. I don't know what that means. Leslie says, hiya. Hi, Leslie. Adam says, please do all the good stuff early. I've got an appointment at 1 today. No. Hi, Leslie, too. No, you can't. If Adam Marina isn't there for the end of the show when I dump back into how long's your appointment going to be, Adam? How about if we just suspend the show? How about I designate you such a crucial and integral part of my broadcast stream confidence. It's a stream. It's not broadcasting. That I actually suspend the show while you're in the meeting. We can do that. Or we can just watch funny YouTube videos. By the way, did you really just say, by the way? Your south side is showing. By the way. I started watching yesterday. Mama Pugs is just horrified by the concept that here at the Comfort Nest Guest House, we don't actually have a TV. We've just got other, we've got monitors and we've got computers and we've got pads and we've got phones and all of that kind of stuff. And so when myself and my son, who's coming this weekend, so excited. We got a long weekend. And as I said yesterday, the master of the house, he's going out jet setting. He's going out skiing. He's going up to the Rocky Mountains. So that means that me and the boy for 4 days, we've got the run of the property. It's going to be me, the boy, and the dog. It doesn't really mean anything. I mean, when they're here, we also, to an extent, have the run of the property. I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I got the kid coming this weekend. So mom, she bought the kid a TV. Well, she bought it for the house, but she bought it for him because to my mother, the idea that the kid not having a TV, and she didn't like the idea when I described how we lay in bed together and we watch movies on the laptop. To her sensibility, that was a bridge too far. So my kid my kid gives her a call, as kids are wont to do, to call grandma and check in. Although my kid needs to do it more. My kid is so selfish. He doesn't. He didn't call me. He didn't call anybody. It's like you gotta. What? Dad? Every time I call him, I'm gaming. Dad. Is that gonna put money on the table? Schizophrenic me? Yeah, actually, yeah. Have you seen what pro gamers are making? They're making like they're legitimate pro athletes these days. Guys who compete professionally in video gaming are making millions and millions of dollars a year. YouTubers are making millions and millions of dollars a year. Okay, so back to the TV. So yesterday, grandma bought the new it's really nice. It's one of them there Android TVs, where you totally unplugged. Don't need any cable. Although I do need access. That's a story for a different time. Not a story I'm going to share on the stream, but if you know somebody, you can always say, "Hey, can I use your password?" That kind of thing. We all do it with Netflix and Hulu and all that. We share. So yesterday, as I was getting the TV all set up for the kid, because that's all he does, he just watches apps on the TV. He just goes to an app and he watches it. Specifically YouTube. He'll watch YouTube for hours, and that's all he needs. That's all my kid needs is YouTube. And at first I didn't understand it. But in the last couple of years, I'm like, yeah, honestly, if you told me that all TV was going away except for YouTube, I'd be like, well, almost anything you could possibly want is on YouTube. So all you got to do is search. You want to say, I want to learn about, I want to watch something, an old movie. So you just type in old movies. And like thousands of old movies just pop up, free to watch. Some with ads, but whatever. That's like, it's like TV. Here's one. I would like to learn about the Russian Revolution. Boom. That's, by the way, these are not things that my kid is Googling. My kid is YouTubing. He watches endless things like, well, I'll give you an example. I was talking with the great online, the great legendary Dallas Fort Worth broadcaster Jody Dean, who, by the way, you should follow him. He's really funny on Twitter. He's good. Woo, man, that guy don't pull no punches. And he was lamenting the end of NFL films. He was talking about how on Super Bowl Sunday he misses being able to sit on the couch and watch an entire day of an NFL films marathon before the Super Bowl starts. And I said, look, they haven't gone away. They've just changed. My kid has seen just about every NFL production of NFL films on YouTube. He watches all of that stuff. And then he'll finish it up with the 100 greatest hits in NFL history. So last night I was watching, I started, I got the YouTube. I wanted to make sure that the YouTube wasn't skipping, wasn't buffering. Everything was working, and everything's fine. The TV's awesome. And I started watching like all of these reaction shows. Have you seen these? And it's like where people, here's what it is. Somebody watches something and they react to it. And I'm like, that is just perfect for me. That is basically my entire existence. I'm like, but you can't possibly make a living off of doing reaction videos. This dude had 3.5 million subs. That's subscribers, for those of you that aren't know. 3.5 million. And all this guy does is watch videos and react to them. Do you know how much money that guy makes a year off 3.5 million subs? He's doing fine, is my point. All right. So I was thinking, I don't know. James isn't going to be with us for the first half hour tonight on the Pillow Talk show. Maybe we just do a reaction video. maybe we'll just watch something. We'll find something to watch. Hi, Jennifer. Let me jump back into the chat room. I wasn't aiming for the height, but I'm proud to have gotten here. What? I don't know. Adam says 1 to 2. And yes, Byron, it's funny because I'm a male and you called me a female. Height of humor achieved. I don't know. Oh, I get it. People are fighting in the chat room. Come join the chat room. Come get in a fight with somebody. No, don't. We want it to be civil. Although honestly, I don't care if it provides me content. Adam said in the chat room today if I could do all the good stuff early so that, and by the way, I've done just the opposite. I've just been waxing poetic for the first 12 minutes, and I apologize, Adam. We'll get to stuff. He said, do the good stuff early because I have to leave at 2:00. I have a meeting. And then Byron responded, gyno appointment, like taking a shot at him. Because let me tell you, that's a stream that I would watch. Byron versus Adam. These are two individuals, both wonderful human beings by my estimation, and they are on the polar opposites of the spectrums. So Byron took a shot at Jeff, gyno, and then it's of course it's all in good fun, Byron says. All right, we should get into what we're doing. Although you might notice, before I realized that I had the clock had kicked on, I was singing the Elvis Costello song, Peace, Love, and Understanding, because isn't that what we need today? We are on the verge of war, people. We are on the verge of war. And you know what? You know what's nice? Here's the one good thing about being on the verge of war. Everybody on the right is going to stop maligning the president of the United States. That's going to stop. It is. We're all going to get behind Joe Biden, right? We're all going to support him because, as we all learned, during a time of war, you have to back the president of the United States. I mean, it's downright treasonous if you say stuff against the president of the United States during a time of war. I mean, just ask the Dixie Chicks, or the Chicks, I guess. They're the Chicks now. So I am looking forward to that. I am looking forward to Fox News and OAN and QAnon and all those people suddenly showing that they are truly uber patriotic and supporting and getting behind the administration, because God forbid you criticize the president of the United States during a time of war. Remember, we all learned that. So let's see if that plays out. Scar on my head is doing well, but I covered it up because I was tired of looking. It's scabbing up. It's starting to look bad. So that's all right. Let's get into it today. It is high noon. It is the 17th day of September, year of our Lord 2022. It's the 48th day of the year. There are 317 more days remaining until the end of the year. So get your New Year's Eve plans started. All right, let's do a little moment of joy. Let's get things started out. Right? Let's do this. Oh boy, do I even have it ready? I don't have it ready. Now I'm rushing. I'm rushing because Adam Reyna is in my head and I need to get into some stuff before. I don't know. You know what? Adam's an old school listener. He may just enjoy the waxing poetic. I don't know. I can't speak for him, but hey, we are going to get into some things. We are going to tell you all about what's happening in today. So here you go, though. This is going to be your moment of joy. Look at this. This is the all-new Swiffer Sweeper. Look at this little guy. Look at his legs. Look at his arms. Dumb dog. Look at him. Hey, dummy, let go. Look at him. Come on, that's funny. Why is he just like his arms and legs? He's enjoying this, right? This is something this dog is enjoying. He's got to be. It's got to feel good on his belly. Dogs are awesome. Dogs also suck, but dogs are awesome. All right, there you go. That's your moment of joy. I'm in a good mood. I am. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood because Well, I don't know. I don't know why I'm in a good mood. I just, sometimes you wake up in a good mood. Sometimes the endorphins are firing. Sometimes things are just looking up. Sometimes you decide to lean into the positivity, and that's kind of what's happening today. All right, what happened on this day? Why is today such an important day? Why the hell are we talking about February the 17th? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, in 1801, the United States presidential election, a tie in the Electoral College occurred. Ooh, it was between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr. It's resolved when Jefferson is elected president of the United States and Burr vice president by the United States House of Reps. Wow. Could you imagine if we went back to that? Could you imagine if the previous 4 years during that administration, if the guy was president and Hillary Clinton was vice president? Oh, you know what this tells me? This tells me that truly from the origins of this country, the president, the office of the vice president of the United States was meant to just do nothing, because there's no way that if the guy who wins takes the big slot and then the guy who comes in second, or gal, whatever, we're modern, the gal who comes in second takes the second spot, there cannot be any belief that they would work together, right? That'd be funny though. That was on this day. How did that end up between old TJ and Aaron Burr? Did they get along? I don't think so. On this day in 1969, American Aquanaut. Now, there's no reason for me to really be mentioning this, except that I read this and I thought, we have things called aquanauts. I mean, I'm guessing those are dudes who live underwater. On this day in 1969, American Aquanaut Barry L. Cannon dies. I probably shouldn't have been so light and cheery with the opening here. He died of carbon dioxide poisoning while attempting to repair a leak in the Sea-Lab 3 underwater habitat. The Sea-Lab project was subsequently abandoned. I've never heard of the Sea-Lab, and I don't want to go into it because Adam is on a schedule. In 1974, Robert K. Preston, a disgruntled U.S. Army private, buzzed the White House in a stolen helicopter. I never heard of that either, but that sounds interesting. What, you can't do that anymore, right? Don't they have one of them their failing systems on top of the White House now? And that's that multi-gun apparatus where if something comes within a certain area, it just starts and it just blows anything out of the. I think that's what it is. And I also believe that's restricted airspace now, so the failing system would probably kick in. If it is, in fact, I don't know. I don't know what we have. I don't know what we have. We believe that we have things like just common belief is that, there are guns up there, but maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? On this day in 1978, the Troubles. I like to mark the big days in the Troubles. Those are the ongoing, not ongoing. I guess it's pretty much tamped down, but still there's hostilities. The Troubles occurred in Ireland. That's where the IRA and the English and all, and they all hated each other. The provisional IRA detonates an incendiary bomb at the Le Mans restaurant near Belfast, killing 12 people and seriously injuring 30 others. All were Protestants. Belfast is such a good movie, and it takes place during the Troubles. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, nominated for an Oscar. Not as good as Red Rocket. I told you, Red Rocket is the best movie I've seen all year. But Belfast is good. Belfast is up there. On this day in 1996 in Philadelphia, world champion Gary Kasparov beats the Deep Blue supercomputer in a chess match. This is the rematch because just last week we mentioned the anniversary of Gary Kasparov losing to Deep Blue, the supercomputer. And I believe I said last week, nobody's ever going to beat a computer. Well, here we are. Gary beat it in 1996. On this day in 2011, the Arab Spring was popping off, and it was on this day that Libyan protesters first forced Muammar Gaddafi into hiding. Made him run. How'd that turn out? We know how that turned out. That wasn't good. They found Muammar Gaddafi hiding in a drainage ditch, and they beat the snot out of him and then killed him. They raped him with a bayonet. Oh, God, it was bad. It was bad. I'm telling you, man. Strongman, dictators, bad guys like that, when the people finally rise up, it ain't good for you. Looking at you, Putin. Let's see here. A couple of plane crashes, too, on this day in 1959. A Turkish airline, Vickers Viscount, it crashed in Gatwick Airport, London, killing 14. Turkish Prime Minister Adnan Menendez was on the plane, and he survived. I've been to Gatwick. Airport. I don't really have a story about Gatwick. Other than our flight was early in the morning and we had to leave our hotel when it was still dark out and it was raining and it seemed really far. Like I remember Heathrow was so easy. We got off the plane at Heathrow Airport and we got in a tube. They call it the tube in London, subway. We got in the tube at the airport and it dropped us right off in front of the hotel. That was easy. But then on the return flight, we had to go out of Gatwick and it was like, oh God, I felt like we were in the car for hours. Also in 1991, Ryan International Airlines Flight 590 crashes during takeoff from Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, killing both pilots. Luckily, there were no passengers. The plane was actually empty. All right, do some births. Born on this day in 1936, Jim Brown, excuse me, American football player, actor. Didn't he throw a woman out a window once too? It doesn't note that here, but yeah. Jim Brown, American football player, actor, activist, and I believe threw a woman out a window. I'm not sure. Possibly, greatest running back in the history of the game. I know kids don't want to hear that. Was the guy from the old timey time? You watch them. Go on YouTube and just pull up Jim Brown highlights. Dude was a freak. I have him at number 2 on my greatest running backs list of all time because, of course, Sweetness Walter Payton will always be number 1. And I have Barry Sanders at number 3. But, there you go. Born on this day in 1963, a guy that is filthy rich, Larry the Cable Guy, American comedian and voice actor. Larry the Cable Guy, he started as a caller to a local radio show. He was just a funny caller. And then the DJs were like, you ought to do stand-up. And he started doing stand-up. And Larry the Cable Guy was born. Born on this day in 1963, also shares a birthday with Larry the Cable Guy. Isn't this interesting? Michael Jordan, American basketball player and actor. Michael Jordan, for me, is one of those, when the grandkids are on my knee, I'll tell them stories about Michael Jordan. I'll tell them stories about how I stood feet away from Michael Jordan on multiple occasions. I'll tell them stories about how I heard Michael Jordan yelling at his team on the sideline. I'll tell them stories about how Michael Jordan was not a nice guy. Not a nice guy. Greatest basketball player to ever live. Don't even come at me with that LeBron James stuff. LeBron James is great. Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time. We're not up for debate, so stop it. I'm not looking at the chat room, so don't even mention it. Born on this day in 1965, Michael Bay, American director and producer. Michael Bay is one of the most successful film producers and directors of all time. And, we could do a Michael Bay draft, but he makes a lot of stupid movies. Like a lot of Michael Bay movies are dumb. I wouldn't even know. All right, what we'll do? Let me see. Stupid Michael Bay movie draft. Okay, let's see what Michael Bay's worst movies are. What are the dumbest movies that Michael Bay has produced or directed? Let's see here. Do we need to spend a whole lot of time on this? Filmography. There we go. Michael Bay filmography. Okay. All right, he did Bad Boys. That's not terrible. I enjoyed Bad Boys. The Rock, I liked The Rock. Armageddon, I liked Armageddon. Pearl Harbor, that was terrible. Bad Boys 2, didn't see it. The Island, I don't know. Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers, Dark Moon, I'm not a Transformers guy. Pain and Gain, stupid. Transformers, Age of Extinction, I didn't see it. 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, I like that movie. I actually like that movie. Transformers, The Last Night, didn't see it. Six Underground, didn't see it. He's got Michael Bay has that new movie, Ambulance, coming out. Ambulance. It appears to be just about an entire movie about some people who stole an ambulance and drove it around downtown LA with cops chasing them and they're shooting out of the ambulance and stuff like that. Ambulance, the new Michael Bay movie. They wanted to call it Garbage Truck, but they thought that was too on the nose. Oh my God, look at me slamming Michael Bay on his birthday. All right. Also celebrating a birthday today. Oh my God. The pride of Downers Grove / Mokina, Illinois. Born on this day in 1971, Denise Richards. Denise Richards, she took a bit of a hit because of all the Charlie Sheen nonsense. She's married to Charlie Sheen, and there was an ugly divorce, and he's like, she's an alcoholic, and she's like, wait a second, you're telling me that I'm an alcoholic? You're Charlie Sheen. You're telling Charlie Denise Richards, man. All right. Do I need to say any more? Back in the day, Denise Richards, holy cow. Very proud, Mokina. That's like the next town over from where I grew up. Mokina. Mokina ain't supposed to produce babes like Denise Richards, but they did. Also born on this day in 1972, one of my favorite people, someone who revealed himself to be a really cool guy to both me and E. You know, E. Amel, the guy who runs the Billy Joe Armstrong, lead singer of Green Day. Why did I forget that? Billy Joe Armstrong story. Okay, I've got one. We were at the Grammy Awards. The radio station we used to work for used to send us to the Grammy Awards, and we were staying at the Standard in Hollywood. And the cool thing about all of the DJs staying at the Standard was that it's the official hotel of the Grammys. So all of the artists, like every rock star, every musician, every country artist, everybody, well, I mean, not all of them, but if they needed to stay in a hotel room or whatever, they would go there. It was also the place where they had all of the makeup rooms, like for, the girls when they get their hair done and their makeup done, they have private suites and all that kind of stuff. They were all doing that at the Standard. So I don't know, it was probably a couple of hours before the start of the Grammy Awards. Amel and I were at the bar. And we're just sitting at the bar and we're watching people come and go, and we're watching the limousines pull up, and we're watching like big celebrities, big rock star celebrities getting out of the limousine and going up to their hair and makeup or whatever. And they're all wearing sweatpants and t-shirts. And then one by one, they all started to emerge looking like, holy crap. Wow, makeup and hair works, because Pink did not look like that when she walked in. And we decided that they were all waiting for their cars out in front. Not all of them, but like they'd come out and they'd stand in the valet, and their limo would pull up, and they'd get in the limo and take them away. Now, right next to where the valet was, there was this little dining area, and a table opened up right there, right next to where all the celebrities were waiting. So E and I decided that we were going to go sit there. And we went and we sat there, and for an hour, we just sat there and watched one big rock star after another walk out and just stand there in their tuxedos waiting for their limo. And we started chatting them up. We just started, hey, good luck tonight. Hey, doing all that kind of stuff. And Green Day was nice. It was Green Day was the night. Remember the Grammy Awards where Green Day won everything? I forgot what that album was. But it was a big, it wasn't American Idiot, was it? Maybe it was American. I think it might have been American Idiot. Whatever it was, they won Album of the Year, they won Song of the Year, they won all of this stuff. And Billy Joe Armstrong, whose birthday it is today, he comes out and he's standing there with his beautiful wife, and he's waiting for his car, and then the other Green Day dudes straggle in, and they're all standing around. And I go, hey, gonna be a big night for you guys tonight. And Billy Joe was like, man, you think so? And I go, yeah, it's a great album, man. You guys, this is going to be your night. And he's like, boy, man, I'm telling you, I hope so. And then I toasted him with my beer, and he goes, and he pretended he didn't have a beer. It was just a nice moment between me and Billy Joe Armstrong. He wasn't a dick. He was nice. He was friendly. He was obviously nervous, and then it worked out for him. So congratulations, Green Day. I like to think that I gave you the positivity to get you through that night. Also born on this day, Taylor Hawkins. Have a story about Taylor Hawkins. It involves Minnie Driver. I've told it many times. I watched a basketball game backstage at a concert with Minnie Driver and the members of Foo Fighters. It was one of the Jordan championship run games. And Taylor Hawkins was dating Minnie Driver at the time. And the boys were all totally into the game. And Minnie had a whole bunch of questions. And nobody wanted to engage with Minnie because apparently they'd been around her a lot. And it was just like, it's just Minnie being boring. So I decided to explain basketball to Minnie Driver. And on a number of occasions, Taylor Hawkins would like butt into our conversation and go, hey, baby, all right? Like, doing the boyfriend. Like, am I a creeper? Am I a weird guy? Every so often, the boyfriend would be like, "You okay, Minnie? You all right?" Like, if because he would pull her away if I was bothering her, and she was like, "No, no, no, this is fun. This is interesting. This is." I'm like, "All right." That's why I always say Minnie Driver, a lovely woman. Happy birthday, Taylor Hawkins. You're cool as hell. I love Taylor Hawkins. Also born on this guy, an inspiration to fat guys everywhere, Jerry O'Connell, born in 1974. He was the fat kid in Stand By Me, and then he turned out to be like a sex symbol guy. So good on you, Jerry O'Connell. You lost the weight. That's our child star done well. Jerry O'Connell. He was a kid actor, and then he went on to be a he's funny. He plays the funny. You know what he plays a lot in like romantic comedies? He oftentimes now seems to play the ex-boyfriend who's kind of an arrogant dick, but he's great. I like Jerry O'Connell. Speaking of another child actor who seems to have turned it around, born on this day in 1981, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was, of course, the little kid, the weird-looking kid from Third Rock from the Sun. Now he's an A-list actor. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is an actor, boy. I'll tell you. None of that Danny Bonaducci stuff for him. This is a child actor who turned it around and is killing it in Hollywood. I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's great in just about everything he does. Also sharing a birthday with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, born on the exact same day. Another child star. I mean, kinda. Although we don't really know how she turned. Paris Hilton. Happy birthday, Paris Hilton. Boy, do you remember like 15 years ago, Paris Hilton was like the biggest star on the planet. She was Kim Kardashian until Kim Kardashian became Kim Kardashian and sort of usurped her. But Paris Hilton was the original Kim Kardashian. Happy birthday, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton seems nice now. I know. What are you talking about? She was awful. Was she awful, or were we all just jealous? Were we all just jealous that she was an heiress and she was beautiful and she wasn't all that bright? Is that the problem? Because I don't remember her being mean or terrible, or she wasn't Lindsay Lohan, is my point. Lindsay Lohan was mean and terrible and awful. And then you had Britney. Britney was like, she wasn't mean or terrible or awful, but Britney like totally spun off the planet. Like Britney, there was obvious Kanye vibes going on there. But I don't remember that with Paris. What'd she do? There was a sex tape. It's not her fault. I don't know. We all really did hate Paris Hilton, and I'm not entirely sure why. Because now she's like this 40-year-old woman, and she tweets nice things, and she seems to be a very positive and decent married woman. I don't know. Happy birthday, Paris. I'm giving you another shot. Born on this day in 1991, Ed Sheeran. English singer, songwriter, and inspiration to gingers everywhere. Ed Sheeran. Okay, so we got a couple of deaths. This is one. This is one. Like, this death was shocking because she was so young. But also there were like months and years of lead up to it where you're like, ooh, this might not end well. Mindy McCready, American country singer and songwriter, died on this day in 2013. Mindy McCready. I think it's a shame what happened to her. So I've got nothing silly or off the cuff or glib to say about her. I opened the show with Talent on Loan from Mom. That's because on this day in 2021, that's a year ago. He's been dead a whole year. Rush Limbaugh, American talk show host and author. Rush is trending. I'll give you my take on Rush later. He's trending. What is today? Today is the day of. Let's take a look at this. I'm wondering if tonight on the Pillow Talk show, Pugs and Parker, we might not have a debate on Rush Limbaugh because Parker works in the world created by Rush Limbaugh, and so there's a party line that he's got to adhere to. Not to say that he is a guy who would toe a party line. I think that he has sincere and genuine beliefs when it comes to what he'd probably say about Rush Limbaugh. But I'm gonna knock it all down. On this day, the February the 17th, it is National Random Acts of Kindness Day. Now, this is also trending, so I don't know if we'll talk more about it. But National Random Acts of Kindness Day. First of all, every day, should be National Random Acts of Kindness Day. If you see an opportunity to be kind, if you see an opportunity to be cool to somebody, let's say kind. Kind is such a push word. Be cool. You have an opportunity to be cool to somebody. Be cool to them. If your option is to flip out like a Karen or a Brad or just be cool, just be cool. Always choose just being cool. This is such a better thing. I told my kid this morning, I texted him, I said, it's National Random Acts of Kindness today. At the end of the day, I want you to tell me 5 things that you did that were nice for people. Oh, you're such a good dad. That was sarcastic, wasn't it? Schizophrenic me. It's National Cabbage Day. I almost bought cabbage last night, but then I thought, what's the point? I did. Cabbage was on sale at the Kroger. I had to go shopping because, as I said, it's the weekend coming up with my kid, and it's a long weekend. It's President's Day, so I get them for extra time, which means it's going to be extra expensive, which means it's going to be just one more day of him going, can we do something? Let's go out and have a catch, son. That sucks. I almost bought cabbage yesterday. It was on sale at the Kroger. And then I thought, why? What am I going to do? You're on a diet. Cabbage, you can eat cabbage. Cabbage will fill you up. I'm like, yeah, but cabbage, I love cabbage. Don't get me wrong. I love cabbage like, once or twice a year with corned beef and potatoes and carrots and onions. That's pretty much. What about the cabbage soup diet? Do you remember that? Do you remember the cabbage soup diet? I've done the cabbage soup diet. It was awful. The weight you lose is just in poops. That's because it just runs right through you. It just makes you, and then you eat a hamburger and it's like, oh, all the cabbage diet weight has come back. All right, let's get in. We're on a time. Adam's got 20 minutes at best. 20 minutes. We got to get into this. All right, let's see. What is trending today? You know what? Before we get into what's actually trending, I need to mention this. Hobie, Hobi, is trending number 1 on multiple platforms. Hobie. Who's Hobie, you may ask? Hobie's a member of BTS. I always say it's like the BTS, the Korean pop bands, they just gum up the works every single day when I'm trying to find stories because their army, the army of fans that love these Korean pop bands, they are ever present on the Twitter, on the gram, on the Facebook, all of that stuff. I need a drink because I feel hiccups coming on, and we know that's not a good thing for me. So Hobie is trending number 1 on multiple platforms. Get this. You know why? Because tomorrow is his birthday. So, yeah. How big are you when you get trending number 1 because your birthday is coming up? I mean, I just imagine it's just going to be awful tomorrow. It's going to be all Hobie all the time. And he is apparently like the Justin Timberlake. I don't know for a fact. I just know that this Hobie dude trends all the time for anything. Hobie bought coffee this morning and then he trends. It's crazy. All right, so let's get into some of the real stuff that is trending here. Excuse me. By the way, I'm dressed this way. It is freezing in the guest house. I had the window open last night. I had to close it this morning. What is it cold today? I haven't been outside. I was outside. Holy cow, it's 39 degrees. Is that refreshed? It's 39. That's why it's so cold in here. I got to put the heat on. I don't have the heat on. I was wearing a nice black shirt to start the show, and then I was like, I'm cold. I got to go get my little light jacket. So it's cold. 39 degrees here in beautiful, not so sunny in beautiful Highland Park, Texas. Yeah, it's cloudy. It was raining all day yesterday. I don't know what the weather's going to be for the weekend, but it's cold today. I don't think it was supposed to be 39. I assumed it was supposed to be 80 the way it has been the last couple of days. 39 today. The last couple of days it hasn't been 80. It's been warm. It's been warm. I had my window open. All right, that ought to tell you how nice it's been. Trending number 1 today, the most important story, I believe, in the global conversation would, of course, be Tony Blinken. When you're thinking, blinking, better carpeting. That's a jingle for a Chicago carpeting company. National 29000. National 29. Tony Blinken. Every time I hear Secretary of State's Tony Blinken's name, I think of that jingle. He went in front of the UN this morning to, it's Ukraine, man. It's Ukraine. It's starting. Here we go. Here we go. We're ramping up. Why? Because the Olympics are winding down. I've been telling you for weeks, there ain't nothing going to happen until the Olympics are over. This is a part of the deal that was made between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping of China. He's like, don't screw up my Olympics, dude. And he's like, okay, I won't. And so he's just been saber rattling and building up his forces, and they're just waiting. They're just waiting for the Olympics to be over. And when the Olympics are over, because it's like supposed to be some like agreed upon international code. I don't know. It's a law. I don't know what it is, but it's frowned upon to start a global war during the Olympics. That's a thing. That's really a thing. And of course, Xi Jinping doesn't want anything taking away from his big moment. I mean, after all, he put ski jumps in front of a dilapidated nuclear power plant. And, so he wants to show off the country. God, that country looks like a dump. I hate to be anti-China because I know that there are probably parts of China that are absolutely stunning and breathtaking and beautiful. And, the Great Wall seems pretty cool. But let's be honest, wherever they're holding these Olympics, it looks like they're holding the Olympics in Gary, Indiana. It is not a good look. It does not look good, whatever this city is. It looks gray. It looks dirty. There are a whole bunch of things. Literally, the ski jumps are set up on the site of an old abandoned nuclear power plant. So you see the ski jump and you see the snow and it looks all pretty and everything. But then when the camera pulls out, you see nothing but smokestacks and giant reactors. And it's just like, what? This is not camera friendly. So Tony Blinken, he went in front of the UN. And this is basically the last step. He went in front of the UN and he said, my people, what's going on over there? We're going to have to do something. And I'm letting you know, we're going to do it. It's coming. This dude's being a dick. And somebody's got to stand up to him. And I think you all agree that we got to stand up to him. That was it. That's the stage of the ramp up to war that we are in right now. Now, you may remember what Tony Blinken did today is the exact same thing that Colin Powell did before the invasion of Iraq. Don't you remember the late Colin Powell? He said one of the greatest regrets of his life was going in front of the UN and holding up the phony weapons of mass destruction argument. Remember they said, no, they got stuff. They got all kinds of bombs and nukes and they're going to kill a whole bunch of people and they're stockpiling them. And we got to go to war with them to take those weapons away from them because they can't be trusted. And Colin Powell had the graphs and he showed the aerial pictures and all that stuff. And he convinced a coalition of nations with UN approval to, go into Iraq and take away Saddam's weapons of mass destruction. We now know 20 years later that they didn't exist. That wasn't a thing. That was bad intelligence. And so Tony Blinken, I watched him today. I got up in front of the UN and he even referenced Colin Powell. Well, not by name, but he referenced that incident. He said, in the past we've done this, and we weren't exactly right. And then he goes, you know what, guys? I hope I'm wrong again. I hope we're wrong, but we pretty much have better intelligence now, and Ukraine has given us the intelligence, and it looks like this is going to happen. And by the way, hours before he went on camera in front of the UN to make his pitch for an allied NATO response to Russian aggression, I said yesterday, one of the plans. You said yesterday. You mean you repeated what you heard a general say, thought it sounded good, and then you just parroted it back? I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not like. I don't have this information. I mean, everything I'm saying is just stuff that I've heard. I'm parroting it all back, but I hear a bunch of different things, and I take what I think is the most logical. So, as I was saying yesterday, the Donbas region, which is a northern region of the Ukraine, Russia might, cherry pick this invasion. There is a thought that in order to compromise in some way, that Putin will just take a big slice of the Ukraine, the Donbas region, and he might say, "Okay, we're not going any further." This is what he did with Crimea. Remember when he went into Crimea in 2014? He was like, "A full-on invasion." He's like, "Nah, we just want this." Now, why do we think this Donbas region is the apple of Putin's eye? Well, because they've been floating in the incredibly shady. You think we got fake news in America? You guys, Russia is all fake news. They've been pushing it to the people there that there is a genocide going on in Donbas. They are pushing it to the Russian people that Russian ethnics are being slaughtered in the Ukraine, specifically in the region of Donbas. Why? Because he wants the people in Russia to be all fired up and think that they're doing the right thing. This is a lie. This is a lie. This is coincidentally just coming up now. He says that the Russian ethnics have been persecuted in this region for years, and it's high time that the Russian people take this region back. It's bullshit. It's just something that Putin's going to say. How do we know this? Because there is almost no difference between Russian ethnics and Ukraine ethnics. They're like the same people. They're like the same people. It's not like there's a different skin color or a different religion they're the same people. This is why would the Ukraine people just go house to house looking to kill people with Russian? They all have some form of Russian. It's madness. It's crazy. And this morning there was some shelling. The first shelling of what looks like the beginning of whatever this is going to be. They're not saying Russian military. They are saying Russian loyalists shelled a town in the Donbas, hitting a school and killing a whole bunch of people, and that Ukraine forces then returned fire. So that is stopped. That was just one little, we bomb you, then we send some stuff back. So that happened this morning. And also, remember Putin? Putin a couple of days ago told Joe Biden, all right. We compromise. I want to talk more. We don't have to be on the verge of war today. Let's keep up these diplomatic talks. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw you a bone, Joe. I'm going to pull back a whole bunch of my troops as a show of good faith. And then Biden went on TV and he was like, Putin has said that he wants to keep talking, and he has pledged to pull back a number of troops. And then Biden's like, but that's bullshit. We all know it. He ain't going to do it. And sure enough, he didn't do it. He built up more troops. He's building bridges over rivers to move tanks and infantry into the Ukraine. Bridges that didn't exist last week are now suddenly showing up on satellite pictures. He moved an entire bomber wing. He built an airport right there on the border with a whole bunch, and he flew in all the Russian bombers. I mean, come on. Vladimir Putin... I don't want to be divisive, but the last guy, remember? He's like, I believe Putin. Oh my God. What? This guy's awful. What do you mean you believe? He's a lying sack of shit. He's always been a lying sack of shit. He's a former leader of the KGB during the Soviet era. What the hell is wrong with people thinking Vladimir Putin's a good guy? He is not a good guy. He's a terrible guy. He murders his critics. Now, I know we had a president who would probably have liked to have engaged in that kind of activity, but it's wrong. It's not American. You can't murder your critics. You got to be thicker than that. Biden also says this morning that the threat currently is very high and that the Russian invasion of Ukraine lands is imminent. NATO says that they appear ready to attack. NATO is saying that the Russian forces, they seem to be at full steam right now. They seem to be ready. So let's go. Also, Russian is also claiming the war crimes that are occurring in the Donbas. And then there was the shelling. Okay, there you go. In other Russian news, our girl, the world's favorite 15-year-old, Kamila Valieva. I want to pronounce that right. I had years of Russian history in school. I love Russian history. Russian history is fascinating. You get through like like the early days with the Vikings and the Rus. That's what they were called. They were called the Rus, the Vikings. That's where the term Russia comes from. And then you get into like the czars, and then the Rasputin. Russian history is fascinating. I love it. Kamila Valieva. Kamila Valieva is the 15-year-old figure skater who was all jacked up on roids. She's out there skating around looking like Jose Canseco in 1986. Nah, she doesn't. She's a little 15-year-old girl. But you know what she did? She did the other day. The other day, she did the first quadruple jump in the history of the Olympics. And everybody's like, roids work. She did something nobody has ever done, which was great. And if you remember, she popped hot for performance enhancing drugs, but the International Olympic Committee decided that they were going to let her compete anyway. First time ever that anyone who popped hot for performance enhancing drugs were allowed to continue. Although they said if she wins, there won't be a medal ceremony because that'll just look bad. Wait. So it's going to look bad for you if she wins after you allowed her to compete. It's going to look bad. Don't you mean it is bad? Don't you mean it is bad that you let her? No, you're worried about how it looks. Well, that's not a problem because heavily favored Russian teen Kamila Valieva fell twice and had two other large mistakes in her free skate on Thursday. She is now dropped to 4th place in the free skate, and she ain't gonna win a medal. So there you go. There is going to be no roided up 15-year-old. And here's what I don't understand. They're saying, well, it's so important for these young skaters to compete when she's 15. She's gonna be 19 in the next. Apparently, is that too old for a skater? She's 19. She's 15 years old. Okay, 15 would feel like the age where you could go. You know what? You popped hot. You live. You learn. Little girl, go home. But no, the argument was she'll be too old. She'll be too. So figure skating is just a teen tournament. That's what it is. It's not like grown-ups who have, worked for years. What's she been skating? 12 years? Is she right? I mean, she's 15. She'll be, let her come back. Well, we don't have to worry about that because she failed miserably. And she's a kid. Again, this is a kid. This is a kid. She didn't do anything. She's a pawn. She's a puppet. She's controlled by grown adults who decided to fill her up with steroids. Here, take these, darling. She takes them. She doesn't know what she's taking. She's 15. She's probably been taking them since she's 12. Do you know that my 12-year-old son will take anything that I put in front of him? I could give my kid a handful of ecstasy and go, here, eat these. And he'll go, I mean, I wouldn't. I don't even have ecstasy. It's not something that, but 12. She doesn't know. She doesn't know what she's taking. She's probably taking 1,000 supplements a day. So leave the little girl alone. Victoria's Secrets is trending. You know what? I'm going to share this. This is what is this? This is inspirational. This is nice. This is nice for this person, and for a lot of people like this person, this is a nice thing. So here, I'll share it with you. Why is Victoria's Secret trending? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Victoria's Secret is trending alongside Down syndrome because Victoria's Secret, and by the way, if when I get into this story and you find any humor in it, you're a piece of garbage. You're just a piece of garbage. I don't care if your mind goes someplace where you think that there's humor to be found in this, or there's some kind of a joke to be made, you're garbage. You know what? Keep it to yourself. Don't mention it. Just, that's all I'm saying. It's Be Cool Day. It's National Be Cool Day. Even though, I mean, I got some things. If I was back 20 years ago doing shock jock radio, I may have had some really regrettable things to say, but I don't. I'm a grown man. I like to think of myself as a decent person. So Victoria's Secrets has their first model with Down syndrome. So let's get a look at this girl, huh? Shall we? All right, where's she? Look at her. There she is. There she is. I don't know what her name is. Sophia Girao. I think she's Puerto Rican. She's the first Victoria's Secret model. Here, I'll pull it up on this end so you can get a look at her. I can't. This is sharing a black and white photo of herself in a Victoria's Secret bra and panties. I mean, people with Down syndrome have sex. People with Down syndrome have a right to feel sexy. People with Down syndrome, sharing a black and white photo of herself in a Victoria's Secret bra, Puerto Rican Sophia Girao announced that she has become a new type of Victoria's Secret angel, the first Victoria's Secret model with Down syndrome. Girao, I don't know if that's how you say her name. It's Jarau. Girao joined 17 other women in the company's new underwear line and campaign. She says, one day I dreamed of it, I worked on it, and today it is a dream come true. I can finally tell you my big secret, Girao wrote on her Instagram in Spanish. I am the first Victoria's Secret model with Down syndrome. The Love Cloud collection marks the first campaign under the new creative director, Raul Martinez, who joined the company in January. It also comes after the company said goodbye to its signature angels and rebranded with 7 women, including actress Priyanka Chopra Jonas. That's she's married one of the Jonas brothers. And LGBTQ model and activist Valentina Sampaio, the first transgender model to be featured in the Sports Illustrated. All right. So there she is. Look at Sophia. All right. She's very happy. Look at her. Oh, what is this? Do we watch this? Should we watch it? Let's see.
I'm going through names and I cannot say them.
I would call her Cheetah, my best friend.
I might name it after myself because it feels really a part of my body.
Miss Nasty.
Valentina.
Cloud, lifted cloud. That's what I'll go with.
Mi color favorito, Rosita.
Ultimate comfort bra.
I love it. Victoria's Secret, I love it.
All right. There you go. All right. Victoria's Secret. All kinds of people deserve to feel sexy. And Victoria's Secret, for years, they were women that guys like me would lust after. They were like supermodels, bikini models, and all that kind of stuff. And they're taking a different path. They are now dedicated to the belief that all women of all shapes and all sizes and all, whatever they may have, whatever is up with them. So there you have. Okay. There you have. We'll move on from that. That's a nice story. It's did you notice one of the girls had crutches, so maybe she had some kind of, what, only hot people are allowed to be sexy? As someone who's not a hot person, I agree with it because there's no way I could be sexy, but you know what I'm saying. Google Doodle, that's trending as well. There's a Google Doodle happening out there today. Today's Google Doodle is Mikaki Takahashi. Mikaki Takahashi. Who is Mikaki Takahashi? He created the chickenpox vaccine, which, if you remember, when the chickenpox vaccine first came out, half the world decided that it was poison. Okay, that didn't happen. People just took it because they didn't want chickenpox. And it didn't they weren't all stoked up by bullshit media into thinking that. Jake Gyllenhaal is trending. Why is Jake Gyllenhaal trending? Taylor Swift, I didn't even know this. Taylor Swift seems like a nice lady. I don't keep up with who Taylor Swift is dating. I know that she dates a lot. I know that she's constantly. I think, you know what? I think Taylor Swift enters relationships for the breakup because I think that she finds some sort of creative energy from the breakups. It's almost like she wants to get through. Imagine Taylor Swift starts a lot of fights. She'll be out on a nice date, everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden the boyfriend's like, "What's going on with you?" And then she says something like, "What do you mean what's going on with me? What's going on with you? Why are you always And then it turns into a big fight, and then she writes an album. Jake Gyllenhaal is trending because apparently he dated Taylor Swift, which I didn't know, but hey. Actually, I think I knew that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't keep up on who Taylor Swift is dating. Jake Gyllenhaal is now claiming publicly that Taylor Swift's song All Too Well has nothing to do with me. Isn't that the song that she debuted on Saturday Night Live with the little accompanying movie, like the long form video where the characters in the video looked like one of them, the dude looked like Jake Gyllenhaal. And everybody's like, oh, this song is about Jake Gyllenhaal. Well, Jake Gyllenhaal is now saying that it's not me. I didn't do that. That chick is crazy, man. We were out to dinner. We were having fondue, and she just started this huge fight. And now I'm in a song? What the hell? I mean, she's attractive, but she ain't that attractive. No, she is. She is that attractive. Here's a fun one that's trending. This is Frat Stafford. Local boy. Grew up a couple blocks away from where we're doing the show right now. Matt Stafford, of course. But apparently Frat Stafford, and I didn't know this, but Frat Stafford was the name that he had in college because he was apparently, he's a dude bro. He's a frat dude bro. And he got drunk last night at the, let me pull this up. Let me see what we got here. He got drunk last night at the Rams Super Bowl championship parade, which is, his right. He's a little Tom Brady. And Tom Brady sent a tweet out at Matt Stafford. Tom Brady sent a tweet directly, a public tweet, but he sent it directly at Matt Stafford so that Matt would see it. And Tom Brady said, dude, take it from me, mix in a few waters with all that booze. Because if you remember last year, Tom Brady got shit-faced, and all the cameras captured him walking through the tunnels, and two guys are holding him up, and he's like, "Hey, what's happening?" He was wasted. That's very funny. That was actually one of the most. I don't like Tom Brady. But that was one of those moments where I went, okay, I kind of like Tom Brady now. Okay, this is a good moment for Tom Brady. He's having fun. He's drunk. He doesn't seem quite, because remember, Tom Brady's a guy that's never had a strawberry. There are certain foods that he will not put into his system. But apparently when he wins a Super Bowl, he will just fill it with all kinds of fermented berries and all kinds of booze and whatever. Matt Stafford chugs 1942 tequila and then walks away after watching a woman fall off the stage. I want to show this to you. This is crazy. All right. Okay, so it's this one. So let me pull this up for you. This is terrible. This is Matt Stafford being terrible. This is not the way you're supposed to react in this situation. Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me make sure this is the one. Yeah, no, that is not the one. Okay, here we go. This is the one. So Matt Stafford was, at the Super Bowl parade, at the Super Bowl party yesterday. And some woman, I guess she was taking a picture of him. Here, we'll show this. His reaction is awesome. We'll watch it a couple of times. So here we go. All right, so once again, like I said, oh, for crying out loud. Oh, for crying out loud. Hold on. All right, now we got to get rid of this one. I'm sorry, folks. I should have had this prepared for you. All right, now we got it. Okay. Look what Frat Stafford does here. Yeah. Okay. Stink sharing. All right. Is that the one? Okay, here we go. Oh, for crying out loud. Which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah, it is. All right, so what? Matt Stafford, a woman is taking a picture of Matt Stafford. Watch what happens. Oh, she falls. Okay, so she's taking a picture of Matt Stafford, and she takes one step back too far, and she tumbles off the stage. Now, that in itself is not funny. Actually, none of this is funny. It's shocking, because after all, it's Be Cool to Someone Day, It's the reaction. It is Matt Stafford's reaction when the woman in front of him falls off the stage and is probably hurt. Matt Stafford don't give an F. He don't care. In fact, he seems to say, holy F, turns and walks away. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. His instinct as a human being isn't to feel compassion or concern for her to make sure that she's all right. Now, again, he's drunk, but still, I don't think being drunk supersedes your common decency. He's a dick. I've always said this about Matt Stafford, and I know I'm a Bears fan and he played for the Lions, but this is a dick move. This is an a-hole thing. Now, conversely, that's his wife. His wife reacts appropriately. Let's watch it again. Here we go. Matt Stafford not giving a crap about a fan. Look, she falls. He sees her. Oh no. Turns, walks away. Now look at the wife. The wife is actually being nice. The wife, look how far that is. Look how far that fall is. He's like, oh my God. He just walks away. And then I think it's Kelly Stafford. She cares. She's a decent person. And there he goes. Look at that. How do you... this is Frat Stafford. Falls. That's his reaction. Look at it. Okay. That reaction is, oh, like, oh, I don't care. But like, oh, that was interesting to see. Meanwhile, his wife, that reaction is, oh my God, help her. And that's exactly what the wife does. Matt Stafford, a.k.a. Frat Stafford, who is taking Tom Brady's advice at this point and actually mixing in some waters. He's got the Aquafina right there. Matt Stafford don't give an F. Isn't that shitty? I mean, doesn't that tell you pretty much? I know that, oh, it's just one instance. No, it's our tiny actions and reactions in the moment that speak volumes about who we truly are as a human being. Matt Stafford doesn't give a fuck about that person. He doesn't care that if she's hurt or not. He's just removing himself from the situation. He's above it all. Meanwhile, his wife seems to be extremely concerned. The wife jumps in to help, whereas the big, strong football player can't be bothered. Oh boy, I'm walking away. I'm sorry. It just says a whole lot about you as a person. It really does. That moment bolsters my belief that I've held since he came into the league and played for the Detroit Lions and was throwing touchdowns against my Bears to Megatron, that he's a dick. He's a dick. Oh, but he's Frat Stafford. Nah. You know what he is? He grew up here in Highland Park. His family, they're like billionaires. He grew up a super rich kid who had all the best quarterback coaches and all the best opportunities. His daddy pumped all kinds of money into him, becoming this great developing young quarterback. Goes away to college, acts like a douchebag frat boy. Those videos are out there. The real Frat Stafford videos where he's doing keg stands and all these stupid shit. That's all out there. Come on. I don't have any love for Frat Stafford. I think Frat Stafford's kind of a dude. Tony Romo wouldn't have done that. Tony Romo wouldn't have been at a Super Bowl celebration. Touche, schizophrenic me. I'm just saying. I mean, there are nice people who are revealed to be truly kind and truly nice when the moment arises. That was a moment where had Matt Stafford showed some instantaneous concern for a fellow human being, a woman no less, who was obviously injured. That was a high... You're taking this too far, man. No, I don't think I am. I really don't think I am, because I believe that the only time we can truly judge people is in their reactions in the moment. Your instantaneous reaction. Whatever you are wired to be is who you are. Matt Stafford is not wired to be someone who gives a shit about anybody else. His wife is. His wife's reaction was pure. His wife's reaction was legit. Now we're going to get all the Frat Stafford apologists. What do you mean I have no Facebook feed? What is it? What does that mean? Is Facebook not working today? All right. Apparently is there something going on with the chat? All right. Hold on. Sorry, folks. I don't know why there's no Facebook feed. I mean, is it... I mean, I suppose I can. So I mean, I suppose I could. Then it's probably an issue with Facebook because everything was done the same at the beginning of the show when I promote the show out and when I put it into. I don't have the words. Obviously, I don't have the proper terminology. But when I do the things that I do, it goes to Facebook and it says complete. It goes to YouTube, it says complete, and it said complete. So maybe it's a Facebook thing. And honestly, I love you guys, but if it's a Facebook problem, it's not like we're not on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is where the money is. I would prefer you all watch on YouTube anyway. I mean, Facebook is great, and I'm glad that it's another platform that provides access to the show. But Facebook doesn't help the YouTube channel, and this is in its infancy was devised to be a YouTube channel. So we'll try and figure that out. All right, let me go look at Facebook. Let me see what's up. Do I want to get bogged down in this? I mean, Adam Rain is on a schedule. I think we already missed Adam. I think he's gone. Let's see here. Thank you. Yeah, folks, please just try and watch on YouTube if you can. Hey, if you're on Facebook and it's not going on Facebook and you're hearing this, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do. Do you see how I am so easily distracted? Boy, if you people want to just throw a monkey wrench into this show, all you got to do is just criticize me because I'm so insecure about the quality of this show. Not the actual ability to produce quality, because Radio Misfits has provided me with the absolute best of equipment, but I don't know what I'm doing half the time. It is amazing that I've been able to produce all of these shows over the last couple of months on my own because, as I say, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, Kev. Look, it really doesn't matter. I want people to be able to consume this content in whatever way is easiest for them. But yeah, the YouTube numbers could use some help. It's a YouTube channel. It's so Facebook is a nice access point. Facebook, I guess the initial plan was that Facebook would be a better way to sort of promote the show and get people to know the show. But then once they know the show, the hope was that they would watch and participate in on the YouTube. So I mean, but you guys do whatever you can. I do know that we have had this issue with the Facebook feed from time to time. And I do not believe that we've had the issue with YouTube. So, yeah, that would be what I would say. Okay. YouTube is asshole, says Byron, but I watch there because I know it's the one where money can be made. It is. Thank you, Byron. I appreciate that. Okay, so you did. So Leslie says she did get the Facebook alert, and it says that I am, but it's just not playing. Then that sounds. If the alert went out, then that means that I did everything correctly on my end. So that must mean that there's something going on with the YouTube or the Facebook software in this moment that is causing the problem. So I do apologize for that. But like I said, YouTube has their shit worked out. YouTube seems to YouTube is built for this, whereas Facebook is just sort of, this has been added on. Like YouTube is a car that is built to be really fast. Facebook is like a family truckster that now has aftermarket stuff that allows it to go faster. That would be the way that I would say it. So if the goal is to go fast in this car, it's YouTube. YouTube is built for that. Whereas Facebook is a social media network who a couple of years ago went, and we should allow people to do shows. So they took it to the garage and they did the aftermarket stuff for now. So I don't know. Okay, here's one. This is a story that I can't. We're going to watch it, okay? Okay, we're going to watch this. This is a video that we have to watch. It's trending. Maybe you've heard about it because it seems to be going around on a lot of the social networks. There was a fight in a New Jersey mall yesterday, and police responded to the fight. And you know what? Let's just watch it, and then we'll talk about why it's trending and why it's such a big deal. Or is it a big deal? I will tell you that when I first watched it, I had no context for it. It was just a video that came up, and fight at New Jersey Mall. So I clicked on it and I watched it, and then I went, huh. Well, that seems problematic. And then I started to read about it, and I'm like, okay, good. I'm not the only one who seems to think this is problematic. And then, boom, it explodes, and it's all over CNN, and it's all over the NBC News, and it's all over. It's a thing. It's a thing. You probably, if you watch Fox News, you probably haven't heard about it because they don't want to go near this. This is not a conversation they want to have. But it is trending across multiple platforms today. So here it is, a fight in a New Jersey mall between teenagers. Let's watch how this plays out. Okay, so it's a black kid and a white kid fighting in a New Jersey mall.
Oh shit!
The mall days. Kids still hang out at malls. It's crazy. All right, here comes the police. They're going to break up the fight. Police are going to break up the fight. Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay, do you see the problem here? Are you starting to see what the problem might be? Are you noticing a little something that seems not quite equal?
Nah, nigga, what the
Holy shit. Oh no.
Well, one of the kids who was fighting seems to be free as a bird at the moment.
Holy fuck. Yo, it's because he's black.
well,
Racially motivated.
I don't know about that. All right, let's watch it one more time. It is the way the police broke up the fight that is causing some discussion.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
And by the way, some people are like, well, the black kid swiped the other kid's hand away. First contact was made when the black kid swiped the pointing finger of the white kid out of his face. And that is a good point. Were we to take this to court, break it down, and figure out who started the fight, I guess we could have that conversation. But the cops who arrived on the scene didn't know that. The cops who arrived on the scene arrived long after that. And I'm laughing because it's definitely uncomfortable. All right, there you go. All right, and the black kid's on the ground. All right, at this point, when the cops arrive, here's what's interesting. So when the cops arrive, it appears, if you're just showing up, that the black kid is losing and being beaten on by the other kid. And the cops pull him down. You young man, you sit on the couch. It's a timeout for you, young man. They sit him on the couch. They tackle the other guy who's already on the ground. I might add, he's already on the ground. So the cop tackles him. Oh, cuffs. We're putting cuffs on the one kid. He's getting cuffed. Now, both cops are working on the one kid who they're putting in cuffs, while the other one involved in the fight, who, upon the arrival of the police, was obviously winning. He was the one on top. That kid is just sitting patiently on the couch. He's even allowed to stand up. Like, watch, he's going to stand up. It's like, yeah, it's like, man, this is what happened.
Oh no.
Now he's like standing up. He's going to start talking shit. There's two cops. There's two aggressors.
Racially motivated.
Well, darling, I don't know about that, but all right. So for this one, I am going to jump into the chat room because we'll have a conversation. Jeff Glenn says the white kid makes first contact. I don't believe that's true. I've watched it a number of times. The white kid does not make first contact. The white kid is pointing his finger. You know what, Jeff? Let me watch it again without having to re-bring it up. Let me watch it again on my end, and then I will tell you if the white kid makes first contact, because you seem to be pretty sure about that. All right, let's see. Let's see who makes first contact. I mean, I swear I thought I've looked at this a dozen times since last night. All right, no contact. No contact. White kid pointing. White kid pointing. Black kid makes first contact. Sorry, Jeff, you're wrong. You're just flat out wrong. The black kid did make first contact. But again, that is not germane to the conversation because when the police arrived, they had no idea what preceded these events. The police have no idea who. Okay, Jeff. All right. This is the problem. We just can't. All right, I'm going to watch it one more time, Jeff. Don't make me pull. I'll pull it back up. I'll pull it back up and we will watch it together. And because I'm telling you, goddamn, people are just so married to what they want to believe and what they want to see. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see this again. And again, this is not important. The whole thing about, making first contact, that is not important. That is not what this discussion is about. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back to it. All right. Hold on. We'll go back right here. All right. So let's watch. All right. At this point, we cannot see who is making any contact. All right. Now we got the white kid pointing a finger, which is aggressive, but, he's not making contact. Pointing finger. All right. At this point, the white kid is pointing his finger, and the black kid is holding his hand. Basically, the whole get your hand out of here, okay? There you go. There you go. There's the shot. There's the first true contact, and it was the black kid pushing the hand away. Is that justified? Possibly, but that's not what we're talking about. All right, so there you go. There is first contact. Now I'm going to go back. Jeff, what say you? Are you still going to argue with me? He says he's watched it 10 times and he's not wrong. Jeff, we just all watched it together. People, can you maybe tell? Jeff, we'll watch it again. And there's only one video. It's not like you could have seen something that I didn't. All right. Finger pointing. And at this point, the left hand of the kid in the sweat, the black kid, at this point, the black kid's left arm now seems to be moving up to where the finger is pointing. And now there is definitely contact being made by the black kid on the hand of the finger that is pointing in his face. Is the finger pointing aggressive? It absolutely is. That's not what we're arguing. All right, there it is, right there. The push away of the hand is for now. It's not necessarily aggressive. It seems to be more defensive. And there, that is the first truly, okay, now we got to go. But if we're talking about who made first, who touched who first, it's the black kid pushing the hand away. And there we go. All right. I'm not going to get bogged down in this because I don't know what the hell we're arguing about. We always assume that this is the full story. Well, we've gotten the full story. Well, actually, here's the question that I would say to Albert. Why do we need, I don't understand how relevant context to what people are upset about is in this situation. Well, who cares? Like, what do you mean the full story? Like, what were they fighting about? What were they, what preceded this? Who said what to who for? That doesn't matter. That is not what is being debated regarding this video. What's being debated is the way the police responded to it and how the police saw two people fighting. They saw a black kid on the ground with a white kid on top of him. They sat the white kid on a couch to chill out, to have his little time out. And then they basically manhandled the black kid and put him in cuffs. That is what people, not me, I haven't offered my take yet. I am simply showing this as to why it's trending and what's happening here. Jeff says the push away is meaningless. White kid made contact with black kid's hand when thrusting his finger at him. Okay, no, he didn't. The white kid was pointing his finger at him and the black kid raises his left. I'm not going to do this. We are not going to do. People just need to go, oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying there. Okay, maybe I saw it wrong. Nobody admits they're wrong ever about any. I do all the time, and I look like a big fucking sap because I'm always the one that goes, yeah, you know what? I got that wrong. I saw that wrong. I did that wrong. Nobody else does. Yes, that's the problem, Jeff. You will die on this hill. That is not a good way to die on that hill. That hill is just filled with bodies of people who are wrong. Why would you die on that hill? Why don't you just go, yeah, you know what? You're right. The finger pointing was aggressive, although it wasn't assault at that point. There was no physical contact. Why am I still talking about this? Byron Jeff is watching the Google Earth. We can't do this. Can we? This is not. Is it because the larger conversation to be had is uncomfortable that we are getting bogged down in the minutia? I love you, Jeff. This is back in the day. This is when Jeff would call in and I would scream at him and we'd end up hanging up on him. Is that your game, Jeff? Is that your game, Jeff? Are you just trying to rattle me? All right, let's see what some of y'all good folks had to say about seeing that for the first time. Kevin says, pointing your finger right in someone's face is an aggressive act. It is. It is absolutely an aggressive act, but it is not assault. It is not. It is. You're certainly egging him on, and I don't know what kind of response you're looking for when you point your finger right in someone's face. I mean, I think the reflex of the black kid to shove the arm away was justified. You don't point a finger in my face. But that is the linchpin. That is what started the every action has a reaction. The action of pointing the finger caused the reaction of shoving the finger away, which caused that action of shoving the hand away caused the reaction of the bigger white kid shoving him. Now, can we get off of this? Can we get off of this? And can we just simply talk about the police? Can we just, because that is the debate that's being had. Okay. Okay. Let me get this. All right. So Albert points out we do not know what happened before the fight. Maybe there is more to this than we are seeing on the video. Maybe, possibly, that has nothing to do with what's being debated and discussed regarding the video. The whole reason this is trending is because of the way the police responded in the moment. The police obviously felt that the black kid was a far greater threat, and they shoved him on the ground. He was already on the ground. They flipped him over on his belly. They put him in handcuffs, and both cops attended exclusively to the black kid, whereas the white kid, who was just as complicit in this fight, was allowed to just sit there on the couch like a good boy. And that's what people are talking about. And that's why it's trending. That's all I'm saying. Now, the next step in this conversation is, well, why'd they do that? And you've got people who are saying, because cops are racist. I think it's more complicated than that. And I'm honestly not smart enough to be able to articulate in a way that would satisfy me. Because if I were to just start spewing about all of that, chances are I'm going to say something that I would like to take back that I don't mean. But I am troubled, absolutely, by the instantaneous decision made on the part of those two police officers that they saw two people fighting, and they decided that the one who was seemingly the victim in the moment was the one who needed to be put in handcuffs, whereas the other one, who was standing over the one on the ground, raining blows down on him, was allowed to sit on the couch. Now, I will say this. Byron says, cops are not racist. These two may be, but not all. Of course not. Oh my God. Thank you, Byron. Byron, absolutely right. And that is where we need to make a real serious, where I disagree. I know a lot of cops, man. I know a lot of cops, and I know a lot of bad cops. And I also know a lot of good cops. I know a lot of good men and women who are policemen. I know retired policemen. I know people. I always like to say this. My mom just retired from the Illinois State Police, 20 years, 20 plus years, the Illinois State Police. She knows a lot of cops. She can tell you about the good ones and the bad ones. Of course, some cops are racist. Some dentists are racist. There are just some people who are racist. And we do not know enough to be able to say that these two cops are racist. What we know enough to say is that the way they handled this in the moment could open up a conversation for people to call them racist. See what I'm saying? You don't have to be a racist to react this way based on training, based on see, here's the other thing. Racist. Oh, is that a loaded word? I mean, to me, a racist is someone who goes around believing that his particular gender, his particular race, which in most cases is the white race, his particular race is far superior than all the others, and that any other race is below them, and it is completely acceptable to treat any race other than your own as subservient. Okay, that is racist. But there are a lot of degrees underneath that of people who might do something that others would go, well, he's a racist, or that's racist. I just think that word is thrown around. It's too powerful of a word. We need another couple of words. We need a couple of, because this isn't racist. If it was racist, they would have ran up and started, hey, N-word, get off him, N-word. White boy, you just sit there and be good. You look like a good little church boy. You look like let's beat up the N-word. That's not what happened. They reacted poorly, and they very well may be racist. I don't know. I can say that the way they responded here was really troubling. Why did they determine in the moment that the greater threat to them was the kid with the darker skin? And that's the argument that people have been making, that there are a whole bunch of people out here in this country that refuse to even acknowledge that there is a predetermined idea of the greater threat coming from people with darker skin. And that's what a lot of people are upset about. And they're saying, but that's not necessarily true. I think that there are a lot. Look, if you were in Appalachia breaking up a fight at a mall that was surrounded by meth labs, then the white kid is probably going to be the one that's trouble. I don't know. So is it a thing where police see more crime? Because this is the argument that you hear a lot. Police see more crime in black neighborhoods, and therefore they are geared to assume the worst. And when it comes down to it, police officers are human beings, and they're afraid of getting hurt, and they're afraid. So instincts take over, and maybe these instincts are guided by a perception that black people are more dangerous. It's troubling. It is troubling. It is troubling. And there are a lot of people who are very upset about this video. And I was upset by this video. I thought, man, that seems totally unfair. But I don't know. It's complicated. And I have to admit that I should probably shut up, because as Adam Reyna so correctly pointed out to me yesterday, and I agree completely when we were talking, I don't remember what we were talking about, but Adam Reyna, who's Mexican, said, we disagree on this because you have the worldview and the ideology of a colonizer, and I have the worldview of a colonized people. That is totally true, man. I'm a white guy. I watched movies where the Indians were the bad guys my whole life, So I don't know that I I don't know that I'm the person to be offering any kind of a take on this other than to say that it's troubling. It is troubling. I am a white guy, and I've been a white guy for 50 years, and I cannot deny that there are probably just things that. Now, this is not to say I'm not. I think everybody who knows me knows I'm not a racist. I've just stop it. And I'm like, some of my best friends. I'm not even going to do that because that's just ridiculous. But simply because of who I am, simply because of the advantages, and I do acknowledge that there have been built-in societal advantages to my skin color. I'll give you an example. When I was in high school, I worked at a pizza delivery place, and I told a black friend of mine that he should come up and apply for a job as a delivery driver because we were making good money and it was high school, and I thought that it'd be awesome to have him there working with us. And I said, I will be working there 4:00 on Thursday. Come on up. I'll introduce you to the manager. Fill out an application. So my friend comes up, gets the application. I say, this is my buddy, blah, blah, blah. He goes, he's really good. We'd love to have him here working. And, we'd love to have him driving with us. And he filled out the application and he walked out the door, and I watched the manager take the application, crumble it up, and throw it in the garbage. I was 17 years old. And he turned to me and jokingly said, we don't hire them. So when I say that I understand and I recognize that there have been certain societal advantage given to me simply because of the color of my skin, it's a very real thing. But how do you change the way people... I mean, that dude was just wired that way. And it was so crazy because that dude was an immigrant. That dude was a guy from Greece. That guy was an immigrant to the United States, and he just so cavalierly and nice to the face. Oh, yeah. Asked him questions that led you to believe that he was going to hire him. So what's your availability? When can you work? And then as soon as he left, he crumpled up and he threw it and he said, we don't hire them. So let's not pretend that, that shit doesn't happen, and that wouldn't have happened to me. Hell, I got a job delivering pizzas there without even having to show my driver's license for like 3 weeks because it was expired, and I was getting around to doing it, and I just never did it. And the entire 3 weeks, it was like, hey man, you got your driver's license today? I'm like, no, you know what? It'll be fine. He's like, okay man, just bring it when you got it. That's a societal advantage that was granted to me simply because of my skin color. The black kid gets his resume. It wasn't a resume. It was a pizza delivery job. He got his little thing thrown out. Why? Because we don't hire them. So when the cops in this video show up and they instinctively assume that the black kid who is getting his ass beat instinctively assume that the black kid is the problem, I don't know how to address that. I acknowledge it. I'm troubled by it. I can tell you that that's probably not the best way that law enforcement should be handling these situations. And it certainly does speak to a lot of what we've been hearing from the black community over the last few years. Okay, so that's an example of what you're talking about. I mean, not that we need see this again. I'm like, oh, we should bring this back and we should have this discussion with James Parker. No, I can't. And James Parker is absolutely not a racist. And that's what I mean. I know for a fact that he's not a racist. But he has he says some things that, would make you think, he doesn't believe. I shouldn't. This is, what? I'm not going to drag him into this. If I decide that I want to engage with him on this subject, we'll let him do it. But yeah, okay. It's a troubling conversation. And I do not understand how some people cannot acknowledge that there is a legit complaint about police handling white people differently than they do black people. If we can just acknowledge that, then let's talk about why. That's the next conversation that we can have. But to just simply say that that's not true and that that doesn't happen, I mean, you're being disingenuous. You're being intellectually dishonest. You know you are. You know you are. And we can't fit. Then you don't want to. And that's maybe the problem. They don't want to fix it. It is fine. Oh, whoa, what? George Floyd gets killed. Whatever. These things happen. Now, that is not to say, and we have seen some things. We had that incident in Minneapolis where the black guy, the SWAT team raided the house in the early morning hours, and the black gentleman was laying on the couch under a blanket, and he woke up suddenly holding a gun, and he was shot dead. That was just a human being holding a gun. I don't think they went, black guy with a gun, shoot him. No, wait, he might be white. No, he's black, shoot him. I mean, that's not. So there are situations, and the problem is that there's troubling individuals on both sides that do not seem to want to have honest to God, sincere conversations about the problem. There are dog whistlers on one side, and there are race baiters on the other side, and there are just, I'll tell you the one common thread that runs through the whole thing. There are a whole bunch of lawyers making a whole bunch of money going on TV and selling books about this problem. And nothing is getting fixed. All right, so there you go. I don't know. I don't. Boy, I'll tell you, when I go back and hate watch the show today, I don't think I'm going to like that. Felicity Ace is trending. Felicity Ace. What is the Felicity Ace? The Felicity Ace is a cargo ship that's caught on fire in the middle of the Atlantic, sunk to the bottom. Actually, I think half of it is still up. I was watching tape of it earlier today. Here's what's interesting about the Felicity Ace. It was a cargo ship stocked to the gills with Porsches. There's a whole bunch of Porsches right now sinking to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. So there you go. So get your rubber raft and maybe a tow line and see if you can't get yourself a Cayenne from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Def Leppard and Motley Crue are trending. Why is Def Leppard and Motley Crue trending? And yes, I know I'll discuss some of the comments regarding the mall fight after in our backstage portion of the show. Motley Crue and Def Leppard are embarking on their long-delayed North American tour this summer. The track dubbed the Stadium Tour. Kick off in Atlanta on June 16th, and it will conclude in Las Vegas on September the 9th. So they're going to be out on tour the whole summer long. Oh, man, what the hell? Now I don't have... Why was it earlier today? Oh, you know what? This is friggin' Rolling Stone. Do they only give you like one click? Okay, Rolling Stone, you're trending. You can't be the only people that are talking about this story. So I'll just Google another one. Actually, I don't need it. Def Leppard and Motley Crue are going out on tour. There you go. I told you when it starts and I told you when it ends. I don't have tour dates. I don't know if they're coming to Dallas. I would go see that show. That would be a fun show. There's other bands on that. No, now I got it. There's other bands on that tour. Hold on. Motley Crue tour. Let's see. All right. And I don't even love Motley Crue. I do like Def Leppard. I like Deathly Leppard better. Okay, here we go. Here's a free one. Screw you, Rolling Stone. I don't need to sign up for the UPI. Def Leppard and Motley Crue to launch stadium tour in January. Def Leppard and Motley Crue are going out on tour in 2022. The rock bands announced the rescheduled dates for their stadium tour with supporting acts. Okay, now. Okay. This is Poison, which, come on. 10 beers in, everybody likes Poison. That's kind of the same can almost be said for Motley Crue, but after one beer, if you're having one beer and somebody's like, "Hey, dude, you want to go watch Poison?" You'd be like, "No, man, I'm good. I don't need to watch Poison." 2 beers in, 3 beers in, "Hey, you change your mind? You want to go over to the stage over there and watch Poison perform?" "No, man, no, I'm good." 10 beers in, you're like, "Where's Poison? Let's go. Talk dirty to me. Wanna. I mean, that's a good. However, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, for my money, they should be the headline. Joan Jett is a icon. Joan Jett. I came to the Joan Jett party late in life. I mean, when I was like 10 years old, I liked I Love Rock and Roll. That was good as one hit wonder. And then she had a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't know, I just sort of got away from it. And then a couple of years back, I like rediscovered the Joan Jett. Joan Jett is a badass lady. She is cool as hell. And her music is just her cover of I guess this was another sort of hit, but her cover of Crimson and Clover is amazing. And of course, the theme that was used for Freaks and Geeks, Bad Reputation, that's a great one. Joan Jett is awesome. Joan Jett is like, I'd be like, totally, I'm going to see Joan Jett. How would that work though? I imagine because, well, here's what I also find interesting about this tour. It's being presented as Def Leppard and Motley Crue, not Motley Crue and Def Leppard. I wonder why that is. I like Def Leppard way more than I like Motley Crue. I mean, I like a couple of Motley Crue songs, I guess. Motley Crue is not really my thing. Kickstart My Heart. That's a song though. That is probably one of the 10 greatest songs of all time. If you said, "Hey, Pugs, you can only have 10 songs to listen to for the rest of your life," Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue would be one of them. That is that song is great. Skydive naked from an aeroplane. That song is great. So, but there's also other things that I've recently come to appreciate about Motley Crue. Def Leppard is just, one song after another. Yeah. All right. Play that one. One-armed drummer. Joe Elliott, lead singer of Def Leppard. He lives in Michigan. He lives like on a farm in Western Michigan. He's like he sells like strawberries or something. He's got like this whole non-Def Leppard kind of existence. And people all the time are like, "Yeah, man, I was in South Haven at a bar, and the dude was just up there playing guitar and singing songs, and I said that dude looks like the guy from Def Leppard," and they were like, "It is." So that's cool. That's cool. He doesn't want to be a rock star anymore. He just wants to go live out there in Michigan, in the most beautiful part of Michigan, Western Michigan. Actually, is that true? I don't know. No, I don't even know if that's true anymore. I don't know if that was true like 20 years ago. He was living there. Where's Joe Elliott live? Joe Elliott. Pugs, this is not important. This is why you get bogged down on a minutia. Well, I just told a story, schizophrenic me, and I'd like to know if early life. I don't care about Joe Elliott's early life. Personal life. Elliott. Oh, no, he moved. Okay. Elliott currently lives in Steepaside, Dublin, Ireland. Well, that's pretty cool, too. Okay. That's good. That's Western Michigan is beautiful, but I myself, Joe, I can understand why you'd want to move out of Western Michigan. Okay, so that was a long time ago. All right. Also on the Motley Crue tip, if you will. So I got back into watching Pam and Tommy. Are you guys watching Pam and Tommy on the Hulu? I watched the first couple of episodes and then I just I backed off because I'm like, okay, this is binge-worthy material. I've got to wait for all of the episodes to build up. And last night, oh man, I got screwed last night. Last night I started, they're showing these commercials for the new season of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon Prime. And I was reminded that oh yeah, I liked that first season a lot. Why didn't I ever go back? And so last week I jumped back into The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon Prime. And I watched because I thought I'm seeing all these commercials. I'm like, oh, season 4's out. So I'm running through season 2 and then I ran through season 3. And then last night I finished season 3 and I had every expectation in the world to roll right into the new season 4. And it's not out yet. Comes out tonight. So tonight, the 18th. So 2:00 in the morning, the new season of Mrs. Maisel. And they just left me hanging. So last night at 10:45 or something after I watched the final episode of the previous season, I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. So I hate watched the show for a little bit. I spun through about 45 minutes of me and Parker from last night, hate watching it on YouTube. And then I thought, okay, I got to watch something. And then I remembered, I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, I should check back in with Pam and Tommy on Hulu. It's so entertaining. It's the story of like, Pam and Tommy getting their sex tape stolen, how it was stolen, the context around why it was stolen, who stole it, how it got out there everywhere. And it's really interesting because it's in the very early days of the internet. Like there's a scene where Tommy goes, the internet, what's that? And Pam goes, it's like a computer thing. He goes, do we even have a computer? She's like, we got a computer. It's like, well, let's look it up. She goes, it's got to be connected to the internet thing. He's like, do we have that? And she's like, no. So then it shows them at like I don't know, like a public library, Pam and Tommy using the internets because it's 1986 or 1996 and they didn't have it. And it's funny and it's silly. And Tommy is a total a-hole still. There is nothing redeeming about Tommy Lee. He's a jerk. He's a dumb jerk. You could describe him as, oh, he's just a big, lovable, dumb dog. No, he's not. He's a dumb, aggressive dog. He's not a lovable, big, dumb dog. He's a big, dumb, aggressive, mean, cruel, self-centered asshole dog. That is what Tommy Lee is. But Pam is definitely kindly. She's portrayed. There are a couple of scenes where Pam is portrayed as kind of like, yeah, okay, she needs to get over herself, but she's Pam Anderson, But no, she's definitely the nice one. And I'm watching, I'm laughing at everything. I'm like, oh, these people are such clowns. I'm so glad that this happened to them. And oh, look how embarrassed they are. Oh, boo-hoo, Pam and Tommy, you're embarrassed. Uh-huh. And then she has a miscarriage because she's totally freaking out about the tape. And I was like, oh, well, this is a mood switcher. I didn't know. I didn't know that was something that happened. I didn't know that during the whole, Pam and Tommy sex tape is out there. I didn't know that there was like actually let me put it this way. It affected Pam a lot more than it affected Tommy. Tommy was like, yeah, whatever, babe. We'll find it. I got my best people on it. And Pam's like, you don't understand. This is much worse for me. I'm in it too. And she said it quite well. She said, yeah, Tommy, you walk down the street and people high-five you over this. I walk down the street and people whisper, whore. It's good. It's good. So if you haven't seen Pam and Tommy, it's good. It makes me like Pam Anderson more than I thought I ever would. Although still I'm not crazy about her. Oh, I'll also say this. Here's an observation. And this almost never happens. And I think I've shared this observation before about Pam and Tommy. Whenever you see a depiction of real people, especially when they're celebrities or bombshells. Like, for instance, there's been a million movies made about Marilyn Monroe, and none of the actresses who play Marilyn Monroe looked as good as Marilyn Monroe. The other example is Audrey Hepburn. Who is that girl from Party of Five? I don't know. She's an adorable girl, but she played Audrey Hepburn. And I'm sorry, the girl playing Audrey Hepburn was just simply not as beautiful as Audrey Hepburn. The girl playing Pam Anderson in Pam and Tommy is better looking than Pam Anderson. First of all, she looks exactly like her. She looks insane. Like, I thought, how are you going to replicate that body? Because Pam Anderson's body is unbelievable. And she's beautiful, blonde, and all that. Don't get me wrong. Pam Anderson's a beautiful, beautiful woman, especially back in the 90s, the height of Baywatch. But this girl that they got playing Pam Anderson is more. Apparently, she's from Downton Abbey. She goes from Downton Abbey to playing Pam Anderson, and she's more beautiful than Pam Anderson. It is striking. Also trending after the Motley Crue Def Leppard tour, we've got Stranger Things. Stranger Things is trending. Apparently, there is a new season 4 that has been announced. It's going to come out like months from now. What is it? It's like, if you like Stranger Things is another one of these deals where I watched the first season. I got caught up in the first season with everybody else. I'm like, Stranger Things is the best. And then season 2 came out, and I think I watched 4 episodes, and then life happened, and I never went back. So I've got a number of seasons to catch up on with Stranger Things if I so choose. But the new season is coming. 4th season will debut May 27th. And the creators of Stranger Things are saying that there will be a 5th season, and then that's it. So if you're a Stranger Things fan, you've got this coming season and one more season. Also trending, independently of this, a lot of times these things trend at the same time, or with each other. But no, this is trending independently of the Stranger Things trend. Millie Bobby Brown, she plays 11. She's kind of the star, right? She's the star of Stranger Things. Millie Bobby Brown is trending because here, let me pull this up. This is very weird. Apparently, she has a doppelganger, or she is the doppelganger. Let's see if we can find this. Let me pull it up. Millie Bobby Brown has people freaking out online because as she ages, and she's getting older, Millie Bobby Brown is a young woman now. And people are just completely freaking out that Millie Bobby Brown is starting to look exactly like Elizabeth Perkins. Elizabeth Perkins was an actress in the 80s and in the 90s. She hasn't really done much. When I think of Elizabeth Perkins, most notably About Last Night. If you ever saw the Rob Lowe, Jim Belushi, Demi Moore, Elizabeth Perkins movie About Last Night, Elizabeth Perkins was the girl in that movie that wasn't Demi Moore. It was Demi Moore's best friend. It was the one. Rob Lowe and Demi Moore are the couple in About Last Night, and Rob Lowe's best friend is Jim Belushi, and Demi Moore's best friend is Elizabeth Perkins. So if you don't know who Elizabeth Perkins is, hey, you're online. Google her. But here, so apparently people are freaking out at how similar Millie Bobby Brown looks. Oh, stop it. How do I do the sound? How do I get rid of the sound? We can't do the sound. All right, here we go. Is there no way to pause this? Oh, there we go. All right, so look at this. This is a TikTok that someone made showing Millie Bobby Brown and Elizabeth Perkins side by side. And it truly is. It really is weird. All right, so here you go for you Stranger Things fans. Okay. So there you go. All right, there's Elizabeth Perkins in 1986 on the left, and there's Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things, which was set in 1983 on the right. Similar. All right, there you go. There's another one of Millie Bobby. To me, she looks exactly like her. That really is similar. All right, there you go. There they are as young women. They're very similar. You know what? It's the eyes, I think. The nose is a little bit different. Okay, let's keep going here. There they are side by side. If you told me that they were sisters, I'd be like, absolutely. I mean, they look a little bit different there. Yeah, and it's the eyes. It is the eyes. That's what it is. Elizabeth Perkins and Millie Bobby Brown have the same eyes, and they're both women. And okay, so that's why Millie Bobby Brown is trending. We'll stop sharing that. The headline is, people are shocked by how much. I don't know if we're shocked, but it's a nice little curiosity. All right, let's see here. What else is trending? DoorDash is trending. DoorDash is trending because their stock is booming, despite the fact that restaurants are opening up. Booming, booming, booming. I don't use DoorDash. Look, I started using Grubhub like 10 years ago, and I know how to use Grubhub, and the app gets me. Yeah, whenever I sign on to the Grubhub app, it always has the right suggestion. I bet you're in the mood for, I'm like, yeah, in fact, I am Grubhub. But I've never used DoorDash or Uber Eats or Postmates, I guess is another one. I don't know what the difference is. I don't, should I use DoorDash? What do you guys prefer? I don't know. I just Grubhub. The app is already on my phone. I don't have room for more apps. Is there an advantage to one over the other? I don't know. Grubhub works fine. But if you can blow me away with a different, competitor that gives you better, could it be cheaper? I mean, you're just pretty much paying for, I don't know. DoorDash is booming. Their stock is booming. Do we want to do this? Patrick Mahomes and his fiance, Brittany Matthews, are trending because they went out on a date last night to the Texas Tech Red Raiders game. That is, of course, where Patrick Mahomes went to school. He's trending, and they're being criticized because apparently there was like a whiteout at the game where everybody was supposed to wear the same color white. And Patrick Mahomes and Brittany Matthews, his fiance, they didn't bother. Patrick Mahomes says, nobody told me. I didn't know. I just showed up. You would think that the person who hooked me up with these courtside tickets would have told me, oh, by the way, if you got something white, wear it. But they didn't. So he's being criticized for not being wearing white like the rest of the people. On Wednesday, the Chiefs quarterback watched his alma mater, Texas Tech, defeat Baylor during a casual date night with his fiance, Matthews. During the game, cameras panned to the longtime couple with the footage naturally making its way onto the internet. All right, so we'll show this too. Well, why not, right? We'll show this. So here's why, apparently, let's break this down. We've all been in relationships. Are they having a fight? That's what everybody's all interested in. Is Patrick and Brittany having a fight? Let's see, shall we? All right. So here's what's being discussed. All right. Make it nice and big. All right. So there you have, nobody that they're with is wearing white. I mean, you see white behind them and stuff. But, okay. So Patrick Mahomes and his fiance, Brittany. Now, I guess what's being criticized here, and I've read some of it. He has his arm around her. He seems to pull his arm away from her, and then he says something to her, to which she turns to her friend, who must be this girl here, and sort of makes a face. It seems tense, I guess, is what people are saying. And they're theorizing that because Brittany is a big fashionista, that she was really mad at Patrick for not telling her that they were supposed to wear white. And she feels like that's speculation. And, I can see that. That's how girls sometimes are. Not so much guys, but so Patrick, he ain't giving up. He's Patrick Mahomes. This is Texas Tech. He's like a god there. Everybody should be dressing like him is probably the way he feels. But watch it. Okay, so here's the arm. He's looking away. It's awkward. She's saying something to him. Now he's saying something to her. And now look, watch her response. It's like, okay, whatever. Wait, is this not the video I'm supposed to be showing? Okay. All right. So people were saying they were fighting, and that's not the video. That's not the full. I want the full video. Why is that not the right video? Here we go. Mahomes. There you go. I'm sorry, folks. There were two videos. One is like Mahomes in the house and getting a chance to Mahomes. I know. All right, here we'll watch it again. We'll break it down. All right, here we go. All right. Patrick Mahomes and Brittany, are they having a fight? In the house and getting a chance to watch this Texas Tech. I don't want the sound. I don't care what that guy's saying. That's too distracting. I want to do the play-by-play myself. All right, so here you go. He takes his arm away. He seems a little upset. She now says something. He says something back. She seems right there. She's like, what did you just say? And he's like, I feel pretty good about what I just said. That was a zinger. I'm Patrick Mahomes. She's lucky to be with me. And she's like, what, babe? And the hands, too. The hands are sort of, All right, so let's... The ovation he got is now she says something back, and it's that response. Her response, she shoots back, and then she's like, duh, like that. And he's like, okay, I'm holding it together. Cameras are on me. Let's not have a scene at my alma mater on national TV. Came into the building. Look, she just did the eye roll. She just did the whatever. Here, let's watch this all again. We're just a bunch of parasites. I mean, the ovation whatever, babe. Got as yeah, you're an asshole too. Okay, good. And it's been, it's getting right now. I'm cool. Watching the game. You know what is his problem? If you're gonna dick all night there, and then she's doing that. He did play one baseball. She's like making fun of him. And now they're laughing. In the house and getting a chance to watch. Whatever, Red Raiders, okay. And I'm Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I don't have to wear white. He got as he came into the building, and has been,
Yeah, he's getting
Let's
right
go,
now.
Red
It's pretty cool.
Raiders.
Yeah,
You know, I swear to God, he always does this. He never tells me anything. He's like, it doesn't matter, Brittany.
He did play one baseball game at Texas Tech.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I think is happening there. All right, whatever. Dude bought her. Do you realize they're not even married? And dude bought her a professional soccer team. Come on. She is owner of the Kansas. Here, where is it? We'll find out what she is. Let's see. This is crazy. Oh, and people also hate her, Brittany Matthews, because she hangs out with Patrick Mahomes' little brother, Jackson Mahomes, who everybody hates. And apparently after like Chiefs games, they go crazy together on TikTok or whatever. And so people hate her just like they hate Jackson. On Wednesday, the Chiefs quarterback watched his alma mater, blah, 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 the couple footage, blah, blah, Matthews, who has been a recent target of criticism, became a talking point on Twitter among some fans who read into their interaction. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, wait. Where is it where it says what she is? Mahomes, 26, has been dating Matthews. All right, here you go. Mahomes, 26, has been dating Matthews, a fitness trainer and co-owner of the Kansas City Current soccer team since they were in high school. They're not even married. And how do you know, Pugs? She's a girl that's been dating him. She's from Tyler, Texas. She's 25 years old. How do you know she didn't have the money saved up from babysitting to buy a professional sports franchise in a major American city? He bought her a soccer team. What? That's crazy. Mahomes, 26, has been dating Matthews, a fitness trainer and co-owner of the KC Current soccer team since they were in high school. The pair got engaged in September of 2020. September of 2020? I can see why she'd be a little bit nervous. They're not married yet? And they'll wed sometime this year, is what it says. They're also parents to an 11-month-old daughter, Sterling Sky, who turns a year old this month. All right, so there you have it. I like Patrick Mahomes. I really do. I think Patrick Mahomes is a really, well, he's he's on his way to being the best quarterback of all time. But he also seems like a good dude, like a nice guy, a great teammate. His girl, Brittany, I don't know. All I know of her is the slag that she takes for being friendly with his brother. And his brother, Jackson Mahomes, is terrible. He's the worst. All right, there you go. That's why Patrick Mahomes and Brittany Matthews is trending today. Rush Limbaugh is trending today. He died today. 1 year ago today, Rush Limbaugh died, and I promised you that I would give you my take on Rush Limbaugh. Here is my take on Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh destroyed radio. At least a kind of radio. I mean, don't you mean to like digital streaming and music services destroyed music radio? Yes, music radio was destroyed by your Spotify's and your Amazon Musics and your Apple Play, all that kind of stuff. That destroyed the FM side of the dial. But the AM side of the dial, which is, known as the spoken word band, that's where people who don't want to play music, people who are personality based and like to talk about things such as myself, as I did for about 15, 20 years. Rush Limbaugh came in and ruined talk radio. Rush Limbaugh also, in my opinion, is ground zero for the divisiveness that we have here. And he had the nerve to die. He had the nerve to die just as his great experiment was coming to fruition. The guy, look, Rush Limbaugh is a very talented broadcaster. I mean, he's very talented. You can't take that away from him. But man, the hatred, the division, all of that shit that we have, I believe that it stems almost entirely from 30 years now of divisive AM political talk radio. It's a format that is designed to make money by specifically targeting a certain group of people. And what did they do? They decided to make that certain group of people very angry. And that's what AM talk radio is. There is no room for somebody who just wants to have conversations about the world. You have to tell everybody who you voted for. Not only that, you have to tell everybody who they need to be voting for. Conversation has become a team sport in this country, and that is why there is no such thing as just normal talk radio, where maybe sometimes you'll get into a little bit of a political discussion, but it's not 100% nothing but the guy who's on the other team is the devil, and here's why he's the devil. And now I'm going to talk to a guy who wrote a book that you'll never read, but he's going to tell us what he's uncovered about that guy on the other team who's the devil. You people need to be angry. You people need to be pissed. You shouldn't stand for this. Get them all ginned up. Make them all angry. Make them all. That's what Rush Limbaugh did. So, you know what? Burn in hell, MFR. That's kind of how I feel. And I know it's personal because he destroyed my livelihood. He made it so I have had opportunities. I have had friends. I have had consultants. I have had people. I told you, I once had a guy tell me, I said flat out, I said, you know, I'm flattered by the offer, and this is something that I'll definitely consider. But if I do this, I do not believe that I'm going to deliver the kind of show that you're looking for, or a show that will mesh with your Rush Limbaughs and your Sean Hannitys and your Michael Savages. I mean, I'm going to do something different. Well, no, you know, you got to be a team player. You got to be on board. And I said, yeah, I don't think I can do that. And this professional radio programmer looked me in the eye and said, well, can't you fake it? No, I can't. I can't fake it. I'm sorry. I can't fake it. I can only be who I am. And that's why I'm streaming now. That's all. And then had this son of a bitch here in town. Hey, man, we want to get you back on the air here in town. It's going back a couple of years ago. Man, we want to, here's what we're going to let you do whatever you want to do. He's like, we just want you, you know, gave me all of that shit. And then I do my show and he goes, hey, man, what was that? Like, that was me talking current events. Oh, man, you know, you got to listen to what the station is. You know, I go, that is not what you told me when you convinced me to come on and do this, you son of a bitch. It's like, okay, so for the rest of the week, and he was going to have me, you know, I was supposed to be doing this full week as an audition. All right, for the rest of the week, everything you want to talk about, you're going to have to clear with me first. And I go, no, there's not going to be another fucking rest of the week. I go, you specifically told me that you were going to let me do my show when I told you that I had reservations about being on a show that is, or on a station that does the kind of things that you did. You told me that you wanted me to be sort of a linchpin or a window to a whole different demographic that might come in and enjoy the station. That's what you told me. That's what we agreed upon. And now I do that. And you're now saying that you need to approve all of the topics that I'm going to be discussing for the rest of the week. Fuck you. Fuck, this is why I do not work in this business anymore. Happy Death Day, Rush Limbaugh. Jesus. And never forget that Rush Limbaugh is the guy who for decades talked about how the 3 strikes, you throw away the key, put them in prison, drug dealers and gangs and all of the trouble that comes from these people, and no compassion for addicts, anybody who was involved in a drug crime, war on drugs, we're winning the war on drugs. And then it turns out that Rush Limbaugh is a hillbilly heroin addict. He did so much hillbilly heroin that he went deaf. You remember when he went deaf? Do you remember when that was a whole issue about 15 years ago? Because he had done some, I don't even know how that's possible. And then when the feds, the DEA, were looking into his incredible hillbilly heroin habit, what did he do? He fucking turned rat. That's Rush Limbaugh. He turned rat. He sent his housekeeper to prison. His housekeeper, who Rush was using to get the drug. Hey, I need you to talk to your nephew Enrique and get me more of this hillbilly heroin. She went to jail. Everybody went to jail. Not Rush, though. Sorry, folks. Rush Limbaugh's a piece of shit. He's just a piece of shit. And he's the reason that none of us can have a civil conversation anymore. And he's the reason that I lost my radio career. All right, you're being a little bit over dramatic on that. Maybe I am, but still. Okay. PB Pitch is trending. What is PB Pitch? PB. I always mention these. PB Pitch is the literary world. They from time to time they put out. I'm an author. Or at least I will be shortly, working on a book. So PB Pitch is a thing that happens a couple of times a year. Not PB Pitch, but Pitch. Pitch is whatever the pitch is. We'll say like there's a novel pitch, there's a mystery pitch, there's a romance novel pitch, that kind of thing, where people hashtag it with the pitch hashtag, and then they basically say their idea for a book, and then all of the country's editors, go through these hashtags and go, "Oh, that's a good idea for a book. We should contact that person." So that's what. So today is PB Pitch. PB Pitch is picture book pitch, which is just people throwing out ideas about picture books, which I have two. Okay, so the first idea is a coffee table book. And the second is also a coffee table book. But if I'm being honest, coffee table book is way too pedestrian. There's a million coffee table books. So my idea is to create a whole new genre, and I call it the toilet top book. The book in the toilet, the book that when you go to the toilet, you look at. And why not look at pictures? So here's my two ideas. These are my two pitches. Okay, the first one is a toilet top picture book when you go to the toilet and you just take it and you look at it. And it is a book of nothing but the world's most famous places, right? The Colosseum in Rome, Madison Square Garden, the Eiffel Tower, whatever we're talking about, Machu Picchu, all of these places have public restrooms. And I promise you that all of these places have public restrooms where people have written shit on the walls. Are you following me? Yeah. It's just a picture book where you're like, oh, look at the bathrooms in the Louvre and look at what somebody wrote in the bathroom. It's just a bunch of pictures of shit that people scrawled on the bathroom walls in famous places. You have a picture of the famous place and you have a picture of inside the stall. That's a good toilet top book. All right, the other one, this is my favorite. Have you ever been driving around and you see somebody walking their dog? And have you ever been lucky enough to happen upon these people when the dog is taking a poop? It is one of I want to do a coffee table book of people walking their dogs while the dog is pooping. Because two things happen. And this every time. This is like, there's no variation on this. This always happens. Okay, so first of all, when the dog is pooping, the dog looks so shamed. The dog always looks like the ears are back, and the dog always looks super vulnerable. And a lot of times the dog is like looking back. The face of every dog in the world while he's pooping, while attached to a leash, is hysterical. So just take those. By the way, I need you to do that. You see dogs, you see people, take pictures of people walking their dogs and then send them to me. Because I'm telling you, I'm going to make this toilet top book of just people walking their dogs. People love dogs. Everybody poops. And okay, so the dogs always have like this bizarre look on their face. The dogs are always like, oh my God, I am so ashamed. This person is making me I'm going to need a little bit of time, but they're tugging on my leash. I've got to push. This has got to be, the dog always just looks like he's hating the experience. The human, however, always does the exact same thing. The human always looks away. The human is always looking away, like they don't notice. And oftentimes they have a bag in their hand. So there you go. Those are my two toilet top books. The toilet top book that is just a compilation of all the world's historic places and the shit that's written on the walls in those public restrooms adjacent to these tourist stops. And a picture book of dogs pooping. I'm telling you, crazier ideas have made millions. All right. What else is trending here? Yeah, I know we're going late. Let's see. Last week we did Lids NFL. Remember we talked about Lids. Lids is trending. Lids is the store in the mall that sells the hats. And last week they released their most popular football jerseys and most popular players. This week they did the same thing for the NBA. So Lids NBA is trending, and wow. It shows a map of the United States, and then it shows what NBA jersey is most common in that state. And there are only 2 teams in the NBA that have multiple states that they've won. And if we're being honest, there's really only one team, and that is the LA Lakers. The LA Lakers are the most purchased jersey in at least 28 states. And I say at least 28 states because, on the East Coast, they get all so small that it was hard to get an accurate count. But I got 28 states where the Los Angeles Lakers are the number 1 jersey sold in that state. These states are states with teams, with their own teams. And the LA Lakers, 28 states. Number 2, the only other team with multiple states, my Bulls. That's right. The Chicago Bulls. They've got 8. So, it's like the number 1 team is the number 1 team. Huge freaking drop off between number 1 and number 2. And then I don't even know if there's another team. I don't even know if there's a team with 2. I don't think there are. I don't think there's another team with 2. I think it's just the Lakers have 28 and the Bulls have 8. And then the rest are all just like, the New Jersey Jets are 1 and the Celtics have 1 and whatever. The Mavericks are not number 1 anywhere in any state, not even Texas. The Lakers are the number 1 jersey sold in Texas. Crazy. The popularity of that team. And that's why HBO's got that new show coming out about the Showtime Lakers, because it's obvious that they're popular. All right, so that was the team. Lids also has their most popular player jersey in the throughout the country. And once again, it's the exact same thing. It is LeBron James is the most popular player jersey I stopped counting, but again, it was like, this one was a little bit closer, but not quite, it still wasn't close. LeBron James is everywhere. And then Michael Jordan is still hanging on. Michael Jordan is popular in a whole bunch of states as well. So it's LeBron James, Lakers jersey at number 1, most popular jersey in America. And then the Michael Jordan, or at least I shouldn't say it, it's according to Lids, what Lids sells. And then number 2 is Michael Jordan. You might see Michael Bibby trending because for some reason, Michael Bibby is the most popular jersey sold in, I want to say, Alabama, which is a very weird. So people are like, that's kind of weird, right? Why would Michael Bibby? Aquaman is trending today because Jason Momoa doesn't like the jokes. He doesn't like the people like, you just did a fish effort. He doesn't like those. He wants those removed from any future Aquaman things. He wants Aquaman to be cooler, which I don't know how you can make Aquaman cooler. Aquaman is cool. Aquaman, I thought that's a hard one. That's a really difficult superhero to make interesting because theoretically he's not supposed to be out of water, but he's half human, so he can go out of water. We all learned that. And Jason Momoa is awesome. So that's a really great character, the Aquaman, as played by Jason Momoa. He is just, he's angry about the fish effing jokes. A lot of times, would you go F a fish? That's like people say that. He doesn't like that anymore. He doesn't want that to be in any of the future scripts. So there you have it. Tornado watch. There's a tornado watch that is occurring right now in Arkansas, covers Memphis and parts of Tennessee until 6 p.m. A little bit early in the season for this to be spring tornadoes. I mean, this is winter, but hey, all bets are off in the world that we live in now. And finally today, as far as the things that were prepared, Pot Roast the Cat has died. I don't know what that means, but it's trending. Apparently there was a cat. He's a TikTok cat. He's a YouTube cat. People love TikTok cats. People love YouTube cats. And of all of those cats, Pot Roast was apparently the most popular cat. Pot Roast is dead. Pot Roast, we hardly knew ye. He is gone. All right, let's see what is, did I miss anything? Is there anything new that's trending? And I bet there is. Let's see if there's anything new trending. Oh, also, Netflix has this new Kanye West documentary that looks very interesting, but I couldn't bring myself to watch it. And then I learned that it's like a 3-parter. So I don't, I'm not gonna watch like an hour of a Kanye documentary and then wait a week. I can't do that to myself. I don't want to give that to Kanye. I will watch it because I love documentaries and I love music documentaries, and I think he is batshit crazy. So this may be interesting, but I'm not going to do that. All right, let's see here. Oh, Joy Behar is trending. This can't be good. I wonder what Joy Behar did. Joy Behar said she doesn't plan to stop wearing a face mask despite the decline of coronavirus cases across the country and the expected easing of masking guidelines. That's because I bet she's one of those face mask fetishists that I talk about. You just, oof. Let's see here. What else? Jesus, Guns, and Babies. Oh my goodness. Jesus, Guns, and Babies is trending because okay. Well, ain't no subtlety on the far right. Some woman running for governor, Candace Taylor. She's running for governor in Georgia. She has a big giant bus, and on the side of the bus, all it says are the words "Jesus, Guns, and Babies." Okay, we're gonna need you to be more with. We're gonna need you, darling, to be concerned with more than that. If we make you governor, just so you're aware, okay? But Jesus, Guns, and Babies, okay, we get it. Those are your hot spots. We understand, but you're gonna also have to deal with things like I don't know, taxes and the state budget. But Jesus, Guns, and Babies, okay, you're not gonna win. Never mind. I mean, how do you? All right, let's see what else is happening. Oh, look, Hobie. Remember Hobie? Tomorrow's his birthday. He's one of these Korean pop kids. He's fallen now to number 2 trending. Wordle is trending. Don't know what that is all about. I don't. Elvis is trending. Why is Elvis trending? Let's see what this is. Is this the much awaited? Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's your first look at the Elvis Presley biopic. The wait is over. Here's your first look at the Elvis bio. Austin Butler takes care of business in the first teaser for Baz Luhrmann. Baz Luhrmann is doing an Elvis movie, which people are excited about. Is this the trailer? He was my destiny. Should we watch the trailer? Should we? Why not? Why not? Let's be the first to watch. All right. So here, this is the new Baz Luhrmann, who people like. They think he's a great director. Let's watch this. This is the new trailer for the new Elvis movie. The new Baz Luhrmann Elvis movie. All right. Why didn't it? All right, got to refresh. I got you, folks. Got to refresh for it to pop up over here. Yes. All right. Oh, for fudge's sake. There we go. You're getting a little bit of bonus show today, folks, because I have to clean the house for my kid. Because I have to clean the house for my kid this weekend. Yeah, I don't want to clean the house, but I got to clean the whole damn thing. What? Is that it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. There we go. Mm-hmm. Let's get rid of that one. All right. All right, looks like we got Tom Hanks involved in this. All right, so here we go. All right, here's the trailer for the new Elvis biopic.
He was my destiny.
I wish to promote you, Mr. Presley. Are you ready to fly?
I'm ready to fly.
That's it. I did all that work for that. That's all they gave me. All right. I'll see it. I like those kinds of movies. Ooh, excuse me. All right, let's jump into the chat room. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we were talking about here.
I'm trying to get past that point of the show where we all stopped down and discussed whether or not Facebook was working or not. Jeff Glenn says, if ignoring the chat was an Olympic event, you would take the gold. This is why, fine, then we're not going to do that. I'm just going to go clean the house. That I purposely avoid the chat because you people know what happens to me when I start looking at the chat. I get off track and then the show derails. Jeff, we spent 10 minutes debating who touched who first because I wasn't avoiding the chat. Now I'm paying attention. People have no idea how easily distracted I am. Leslie says that Victoria's Secret's underwear is expensive and a cheaply made bra failure waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, we still got a little no Facebook feed, blah 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 blah. Okay, boy, the Facebook conversation went on for a very big part of the show. Let me see if there's anything I want to respond to. Regarding the mall fight, Byron says, unless it comes out that as the cops were coming in, someone told them that the black kid had a weapon, both cops should be punished / fired. Well, there should be an investigation as to what happened there. All right, and now we've got 10 minutes of us deciding who was the aggressor, who touched who first. See, now this is okay. So I'm gonna talk to Leslie here on this one. Leslie says regarding the incident that we watched that happened in the mall in New Jersey between a white teenager and a black teenager, where the police arrived on the scene and immediately assumed that the black teenager was the problem. Leslie says flip side of this is that the white kid is a shit stirrer and a bully. Well, how do you know that? I don't. How was that clear? I mean, we do not have context. We don't know these people. We don't know. I mean, that's dangerous. I think that's dangerous to make that jump. And the gal who fell from the stage fractured her spine. She was NFL photographer, poor baby. Oh no, that's also from Leslie. Yeah, I guess I should look into that. So that's not at all. I mean, good Lord. Oh, Leslie says she was responding. I don't know. This is why this is not such a great way for me to do this. I speaking of not having context. Okay, so I guess I was talking about the Minneapolis thing. Where the guy got shot, and Jeff Glenn says the flip side of that is if you're awakened by someone busting through the door in the middle of the night, shouldn't you have the same right as police to make a split-second decision? Well, possibly, but the cops were very clearly for a lot of time before cops, hands on the air, cops. They were identifying themselves as cops. Now, I guess you could say, well, so maybe a burglar would do that, but I don't think so. I don't think that's practical. I don't think burglars are going to go out of their way to announce their arrival in the house. I bet we can agree that no-knock warrants are an issue. They're a problem. Byron wants my Hulu login. Rob Barr says, regarding Pam and Tommy on Hulu, the guy that plays Tommy is not douche enough. Tommy to me looks like walking hepatitis. Yeah, he does. Sebastian Stan, man, that's who plays Tommy. He's the Winter Soldier from the Marvel movies. I love him. He's a good actor, and I think he's really good as Tommy. But the girl who plays Pam, whew, crazy. Oh, look, Adam came back. Adam says he's got lots of stuff that he knows about Patrick Mahomes due to family ties. Leslie and I agree that we hope that Rush Limbaugh is burning in hell. He's just not a good human being. He just did not leave the world better than it was when he came in. And that should be the goal for all of us. He's just a bad, deceitful, duplicitous guy who turned in his housekeeper. Turned in his housekeeper to save himself. Blamed her for everything. Oh, if she hadn't made Hillbilly Heroin sound so great, I would have never tried it. It's just, oh God. People just conveniently forget that Rush Limbaugh was a dirtbag junkie. They just they totally forgave him of that. He was a junkie. Leslie says, my husband gave me a calendar with only dogs pooping. So sweet. So that exists? Are you telling me that exists? Oh, man. Dogs pooping is really funny. It's really funny. I look forward to it. When I drive, my kid and I will be in the car. We're driving through the neighborhood. He'll point it out. He'll yell it out. Okay, Dad, slow down. Dog about to poop. We'll be like, okay, get the camera ready. You get a picture here. Yeah, we do crazy stuff. Me and my kid. All right, that's it. We had nothing else. We had a lot of stuff we were talking about. Today, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do for the Pillow Talk show. Parker has already told me he's going to show up a half hour late. I've actually got to do some running around, but it shouldn't affect the start time of the show. I would expect it to be 9:00 as usual. At the worst, maybe 9:05. But no, I'll be back here on time. I got to clean the house, and then I got to do stuff. There's just a whole bunch of running around that I got to do. It's always a big weekend when the kid's coming. You got to make sure, you know what I'm saying. All right. So that's it. That's it for today's show. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Again, you can support the show in any way you can. I thank you. Thank you to the two folks who supported us yesterday. You ladies are always there, man. You guys are always, still could use some more help, but hey, you do what you got to do. We would also appreciate it if you could share the show, spread the word of the show, mention it. Hey, here's what I do during the day, growing the show. Christian, he contacted me last night. We exchanged numbers. He's going to help me with some strategies. It's what he does for a living. So he's going to help me with that, which is really all I need. I need help. I need help in any way, monetarily, which you can support through the tip function that we provide here on the show. Word of mouth wise, that you can help with the sharing or the liking and subbing and telling people. And hey, if you've got any specific skills that you could apply to helping grow the show, that's another thing that I would really appreciate. I'm open-minded. I'm willing to learn. God, I'm hungry. Mama. I'm going to have a tuna sandwich. That's right. I'm going to have a tuna sandwich. It's going to be a tuna sandwich, and it's going to have pickles, and it's going to have a slice of cheddar cheese, and it's going to be on bread and not toast. Typically, a tuna sandwich on toast is the way I like it, but it'll be on bread because I don't have a toaster. That's another thing that I thought of. Like, I wish the microwave had a toaster option. I mean, I know that's probably not possible. Well, look, anything's possible. We're taking space tourists, to the moon, right? I guess anything's possible. But I would like it if, you can toast something in a microwave. That's a completely different apparatus, Pugs. I know. Obviously, I don't love toast all that much because there is a toaster about 30 yards across the field here. toast in a skillet. That's not an option either. I got a fully functioning kitchen over there. All I have to do is walk the bread over and put it in the toaster and walk it back. It is not a problem, but obviously I don't like toast that much. I don't anticipate a war starting today. We'll start the timer once the closing ceremonies at the Olympics begin. And then, game on. And remember, as I started out the show by saying, it is going to be really nice once this war kicks off. I'm just going to be so relieved when we finally see Fox News completely supporting Biden and, all of the fringe right and all of those people finally coming together and supporting our president. Because remember, as we all learned years ago, when the United States is involved in any kind of conflict, it's darn right treasonous to talk crap about the president of the United States. I mean, just ask the Dixie Chicks. It'll be nice. It'll be nice to hear Sean Hannity full-throated supporting Biden. Because anything less would be treason. I mean, that's why I burned all my Dixie Chick albums. Far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. All right, I gotta go. I gotta clean. I gotta have a tuna sandwich first, and then I gotta clean. Oh, I gotta do laundry too. I forgot about that. All right, all that. All right, bye everybody. Appreciate you. Come back tonight at 9 o'clock for our little pillow talk experiment. Me and James Parker. Bye, folks. Yes, Leslie. Cheese on tuna. Like any great world-class deli will provide you. Cheese on tuna. You make me second guess myself. You make me think that I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing something wrong. Cheese on tuna. You know what the best way to do it is? You know what one of my favorite delis in the world does? They take shredded cheese, and they actually mix it in with the tuna salad. It is delicious. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending I'm jealous that it's snowing somewhere. Oh, I want it to snow.